Okay, good afternoon. Okay, apologies for the delay in the stream. We had an issue with the internet. It's been fine all morning during the tests, and lo and behold, 2 minutes before kickoff goes off. So we fixed it now. You've not missed much. Vikings got the ball to start. Couple of penalties, a couple of first downs, and we're here now. So no mix. So I'm going to hand you over to the game day commentators, Craig Lenihan and Jonathan Rooney. Just before we get to that, while there's a break in play, whatever happens here today, we will be live streaming the next playoff game, whether it's here with a Vikings win or whether it's at Sandwell with a Vikings loss. We will be doing so. So I'm going to hand you over, and thanks very much.
Okay, Jonathan, we've got twins right with a single cover and very little help over the top. So early in the first quarter, a couple first downs for the Vikings. Give on the inside zone to Johnny.
Huge stutter step, and he glides for the first down. At the minute, the Roughnecks are looking like this is going to be a really long day. They're trying something on defense. They've been showing a 2-high shell, but rotating down to a 1-high. The Vikings have messed with alignment so far, 2x2. They've used stack. They've used a narrow alignment to try and get number 55 on an island. And you saw in that last play, he declared himself as a box defender.
Yeah, I mean, the Roughnecks are asking a lot of 55 here. If you look at this alignment, we've got twins right, and it's almost a bunch of. We've got stack right. Number 55 is looking over. He's thinking, do I stay in the box? We've got the free safeties actually come slightly left to midfield, but even so, underneath it's 2v1. You've got to throw that all day long.
Yeah, and the corner's not exactly in the face either.
He's
so
7
they've
yards.
got a huge amount of grass to take here.
QB flushed right again, looks to the sideline. The number 23 clean grab.
And he's out of bounds for a first down. Jacob shot him.
And all that happened there, Jonathan, was of those two guys in the stack, one broke inside. The cornerback went with him. The QB was flushed out. It's still 2v1 because the free safety was, it looked like not even cover one. It looked like man free.
Yeah, it was a strange one, that one. On that one, they didn't rotate to the 1-high. And they stayed with the two safeties. But the corner wasn't really effective at disrupting the routes at all. And they come out with this stack again and ask this corner, number 89, what's he going to do about it?
So Graham Robertson already been put to the test. He's lined up really deep. I mean, he's 10 yards off there, Jonathan.
He's 10 yards off. He's outbodied by the front player and outmatched athletically.
Give on the inside zone.
It's a 6 or 7 yard gain. They've got good forward progress here, and we're going to see 2nd and 3.
So number 85, Rob Hayes on the stop, plays both ways. Playing a bit of inside backer, also plays some tight end on offense.
Yeah, and he's one of the premium athletes as well. And maybe they've said with this sort of flat defender, okay, we think that he can do extra. I think athletically, though, the Vikings are a sort of different caliber, and he'll struggle to do both roles.
So just for the viewers, the furthest D end away, number 73, is a real star. Was the finals, Div 2 finals MVP. Andrew Watts, expect to see him do something against a left tackle.
Yeah.
Gets a good move on. Nice swarming to the ball by the Roughnecks defence. I mean, they got the ball out quick, but 73 got some good pressure. I'd like to see him hit that back a lot harder. He sort of sat up.
A really interesting sort of whole setup there. That looked like it was an access throw, maybe a frontside RPO, because the backside D end you were just referencing, he came free. It looked like he was the zone read kind of guy, but there was a quick screen this way. Jacob Shotton had a vertical release and maybe was a better shot, but you mentioned number 73, and sorry, what was his name again?
Andrew Watts.
Andrew Watts. He's up against Matthew Carney, who's a team captain for the Vikings. He's getting back to good shape.
Okay,
he's had
3rd and 7,
injuries.
Jonathan. Stack, single back on the left.
And now 55 has vacated the box.
Yeah.
We're giving us a
Drops
true
back,
4-2 look.
Looks right. Flush left.
Now, we know Henry's got the speed
Big
here.
block on 73. And it fumbles the ball.
Well,
so 73 there, he got a big block against him, but the offensive player hit him once and then stopped.
And he kept playing.
That's the number 72, Matthew Carney, will be kicking himself because he made a big block, but he did what the coaches say you never do. He one hit and he stopped.
Yeah, but I think to be fair to him, he'd made his block in pass pro. Then he turned, it was already his second block. And to be honest, when you're coaching QBs and you try and get that escape,
stop doing that. Yeah, make
called,
one move and then throw it away.
It's called escape. You're not supposed to put yourself back into prison.
So it brings up 4th along on just inside their own halfway line. Now, Henry Bowman, the QB, what we've said in past games is he's made very few mistakes. That's the first time I've seen him make one of those long unforced errors where he tried to do too much.
Especially just before we got on air, he had a sprint out option that was well covered, and he ran it for a first down and slid. He looked extremely calm.
So Connor Joyce on the chase.
He looked extremely calm and picked up the first down. So for him to regress straight away back into a double move doesn't look good. But I'll tell you what, the Vikings punt team have started like they finished the last game.
Connor Joyce was all over that. It rolled out at the 12-yard line. It's great field position. So here we go. We've got a spread offense for the Roughnecks. And they've got a brand new offensive coordinator in who's going to run air raid next year. His name is Matthew Watt. We had a good chat before the game. One thing they didn't do last time these two teams met was throw to the slots. This Vikings defense plays cover 2, and the hitch was onto the slots, I was told, by both sides of the ball. Let's see what this new offensive coordinator does to try and stress this Vikings defense.
It looks like they've got a tray formation with a tight end and twins to this side early on. So it's a 3-by-1 formation with a tight end. That puts Ducey Burwell in the flat coverage, and he's not a guy you really want to test.
So give left. That's nice hard running from number 6.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's found that C gap from a good block from the tight end, and he punched it in for a good gain.
So Lewis Hughes picks up, 3 yards, brings up maybe 4. 2nd and 5, 2nd and 6. It's a promising start. I mean, this Vikings front 7 for the last 2-3 years has really made this, a nice team to be around, because you're always in it, even if you're losing, which has happened very infrequently. You know that the offense you're playing against is going to struggle.
Yeah. I mean,
so Connor Joyce rotates over to this twin side left. Fake jet left, and that's gobbled up immediately. Fake jet and a give right. One of the things we're running a play like that, Jonathan, is this defense is pretty disciplined now.
Yeah.
If you fake the jet, what you're trying to do is get those backside linebackers to come over and be a bit greedy against their assignment. That's not going to happen today.
And quite interestingly, in this area, a lot of these guys have watched the Prem North games up at Durham and have seen Nottingham run tight end with trips. They've seen Durham run it. They've seen Stirling run it. We've seen East Kilbride run it. And I think the Vikings have developed into a team.
Could be a false start there on offense. He was quick off the ball. Number 6 cuts back, and once again he's swarmed. So that's a near defensive end, number 56.
I think early on in the season, the Vikings were quite weak at playing a lone tight end.
Matt Dyke.
On a nub. No wide receiver out there. They were wasting a man. Both Phil Sabelli and Michael Raven, the corners, have as the season's progressed they've seen it more. They've kind of changed a little bit schemically, and they're finding a way of getting the cornerback more involved in the game when there's no wide receiver out there.
Right. So it brings up 4th and 5 after a promising first play. No gain on 2nd and 3rd down. Let's see the special teams
strange front
punt.
formation with only seems to be one gunner for an extra tight end.
It's a high snap. He managed to field it cleanly. Tucker on the charge, doesn't get there.
That's a great
that takes
bounce.
A wicked bounce for the Vikings. Can the chase get there?
What
Number
a punt.
20 for the Roughnecks.
Now that is a punt for the ages. That's fully 75 yards field position flip. And unfortunately 94 is slow to get up. He's got up under his own steam though. Referee's made his okay.
So
and
Darren Henderson, the chaser for the Roughnecks, getting fantastic field position. So they've got to be happy with that.
Is that your favourite position?
What's that?
You never ever shut up about the missiles. You love it, don't you? I mean, it is a key part of the game.
Missiles?
Well, that's what we call them, gunners or whatever. Those guys that go down.
Oh, I love that.
Ball.
Well, look. Their offense gained them 5 yards.
Yeah,
okay,
absolutely.
What did that one guy chasing gain them?
Oh, huge,
He's got them all the way down the other pitch. So that one play by that one gunner, Connor Joyce pinned them back on the 12-yard line. The gunner there stopped them. They've gained more yards than both of these offenses
I think
put
the
together.
long snapper putting it on the money, the punter putting it on the thing, the bouncers being good also helps.
I'm all about that bling.
Yeah.
So we've got trips left.
That's why we call them missiles.
And the Roughnecks moving guys around.
It's one
The
of
problem with moving guys around like this, if you're trying to confuse, all it takes is one blown assignment like that. Oh.
There was contact early there, but that's not getting called.
Well, I think number 22 read it well.
Yeah,
that's,
but
we're going to call him Pretty Boy. That's his nickname. Gamu Mukarezdiz. That's probably why they call him the Pretty Boy.
Okay, I can feel that. But yeah, you see him make contact, but he actually did really well to not make too much contact.
Yeah, he
There
timed
wasn't
it well.
a shove. There was a touch of contact, enough to upset Jordan Matthews on the corner and prevent a big game.
So I do not hope the Roughnecks start moving around their second level players, because
No.
if you get caught on the hop and you run an inside zone properly,
Yeah.
a zone team won't be confused by that. You'll just
No.
end up blowing an
Although I will
assignment.
say, on that play specifically,
Give left up the middle,
Johnny's
big
breaking
hole.
loose here.
Breaks one tackle.
I must say on that there's two aspects. A, I think you're right. I think it's a bit of a fashion thing. It got added to Madden about 6 years ago and then started to crop up. I don't really think it's super hot. I mean, I know some college teams do it, but you know that those guys have got great fundamentals.
And you do it against a man blocking scheme, a zone scheme that plays in the offense's hands.
One issue they have is that a lot of the guys had a really high pad level and didn't do much.
Yeah.
One thing to note though, 55 came completely free, and he is one of their better players,
Yep.
and that's why the QB had to leave the pocket. So early on, the zone should work, but 55 came free in the middle,
Drops
and that's
back.
big.
Looks over the middle
That's
on
high.
the seam, and
Pretty boy.
So Pretty Boy had a chance of a pick, and he knows it. And just for the viewers, we had a late start to the stream. We had a very good chance of a pick six on, I think, the second play for the
unbelievable.
Vikings. He
And
threw on
actually-
an out.
And actually what we saw, it was like a slant out combo.
And number 89, the nearest cornerback, read it to perfection.
No, I thought he froze, because he didn't cover the out. He didn't cover the slant.
I'm giving him the benefit of the
You
doubt,
are,
Jonathan.
but you're not telling the truth. The quarterback didn't throw it anywhere near anyone in black.
No, he threw it in the middle.
Right in the middle. He threw it at the mesh point where the cornerback had been stood, and he had a walk-in
So
pick
got
six.
twins right, 55 stays in the box, which means 89. If they run a smash concept again, he should be free. Gives it up in the middle, cuts
And
back
he's
left, that's
gone
beautiful.
again,
Good
huge
block against
zone.
56. Number 81, Dion Feather, managed to get his cornerback and stopped him 10 yards down the field. I mean, there was good 2 or 3 blocks there that were sustained a good 5 or 6 seconds after the snap.
I think one of the big things is the cornerbacks are so passive.
Yeah.
Dion only actually blocked him for 3 yards. He just blocked him from 7 through 10.
Yeah.
And it looks like the best block ever.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
actually, that's not good enough on a run play from the
especially
cornerback.
when the back bounces out like that. I mean, we've seen the success on this inside zone game has come actually up the middle.
Yeah.
But if the running back bounces out, that cornerback's job is no longer defending the pass. He's got to get outside that receiver and force it back into the alley.
And what I must say about early on, they're either on a game plan to cut back hard, or maybe they've even kind of running same side zone, or like a veer zone, or like a bend zone, because all the big runs have been in the backside B gap immediately.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
haven't been like a front side A gap check, stutter, cut. They've just been a bend right into the B gap. And maybe they think that Aberdeen are going to rely on number 73 a bit too much. And if they can bend inside him, there's, you know.
Yeah, I mean, that's your backside inside linebacker's not maintaining his gap responsibility.
Yeah, and he's
over pursuing. And then the running back, as you said, is cut it back on that backside.
And
B
they're
gap. Now,
almost
one of
running
the
like
things
an
about those
inverted
cornerbacks, I think that Aberdeen has been a 44 cover 3 team. And in cover 3, your cornerbacks are used to dropping back deep and looking for that outside backer covering underneath. You give up the flats effectively. And both of these cornerbacks have been passive on these outside runs so far.
And already we can see first drive they were too high and they were rotating down to one
they're not
high.
bothering with that anymore.
But no, well, they have gone back to it here. So here we can see that 43. But I'm trying to
20
ID.
steps
No,
back.
he's dropped out. So
Gives right. That is nice running. Johnny and By picks up a good
running.
6 or 7 into contact. Number 22 came over, but he didn't get his pad level low, and he was driven back.
and the sideline is juiced on this run game. It's been missing for a few weeks from the Vikings.
Now let's build something up here, Jonathan. The last time these two teams met here was 3 years ago, and I'm going to set the scene. Today, Vikings are 9-0. 3 years ago, Vikings were 9-0.
8-1.
8-1, sorry, yeah. But the Vikings have played this team here at the last game of the season before and took them lightly, and I think lost 14-13 by a single point. So the Vikings have something to prove today.
Yeah.
Can they stay focused?
I'm not sure how many of these Vikings played that game.
Oh, there'll
to
be
be
a
honest.
fair few.
There'll be a few, but actually, Johnny,
Okay, got
yes.
trips left.
Carney, yes. Other than that, I'm
Real
not
soft
actually
coverage
sure.
against the near side cornerback. He's, 10 yards? Rolls left.
Really nice play there. Good coverage all round. He takes his time. He has that internal clock, and so does Jordan Matthews, who was the short option.
Yeah.
He comes back, springs one block, and he turns a horrible, risky throw into just a 1 or 2 yard game.
That's what we've talked about. One of the strengths that this quarterback has been so far in the season. He's not made unforced errors.
No, he's not. He doesn't force the ball in.
And the problem is you get with young lads, they think they want to get out, they want to prove something, they want to throw the ball downfield. When we looked last week, it was virtually a zero-error game from the quarterback, and they won 5-0. Yeah. So it's not glitzy, but you don't give the game away. So QB takes his time, looks at this soft coverage towards us from the cornerbacks, very deep.
I'd love to see speed out go here.
Yeah, he's looking right. It's flushed right again. Number 95 gets some decent pressure.
Oh, that's dangerous.
Oh, nice.
Pretty Boy makes up this time. Here we go.
There we go. Pretty Boy on the interception.
Flag down.
We've got a flag. This is probably going to be against the Vikings.
I think it's O-line downfield. Ball is intercepted. I believe this is O-line downfield by White. Going to be declined. Aberdeen ball.
As you called it, Jonathan. So just as we were saying, the QB is not trying to do anything stupid and force a play when he's been flushed out.
To be honest, though, I think again there. However, I actually think mechanically he just missed. He had a player wide open for a first down, and
it's funny you should mention that, Jonathan, because
too hard.
Yeah.
And that's a different thing to forcing it somewhere where it shouldn't.
The mechanics is a different issue here, because you're absolutely right in his mechanics, because he didn't get his weight forward. He actually threw as he was going sideways rather than squaring up, getting his head tight.
He had a player wide open who was 10 yards in front of the safety.
So anyway, get out of jail free for this Roughnecks
But the
defense.
Vikings really have managed to flip field position.
We've got a bigger running back in now. Number 35 gets the ball right. That's beautiful pursuit by the defense.
Yeah.
He strung him out and strung him out.
And when you see a bigger running back like that, heavily muscled, with a very nice running, gliding action, you think, oh, this could be trouble. Michael Raven at cornerback makes a fit up form tackle.
Unfortunately, we don't have him on the roster.
When we've seen the cornerbacks in the second half of this season, think about all the tackles Phil Sabelli made last time we were here. Michael Raven's just come up with a form tackle.
This is in contrast to what we've just been saying about the Roughnecks defense, and their cornerbacks been much more
Absolutely.
passive. We see the difference there. We have a tackle for loss on what started off as, I think, as an inside zone play.
And it's cover 4. So he's playing soft coverage.
Yeah.
And
great pressure from Burwell. Oh! Burwell put a big move up the B gap. The QB threw on his back heels and skied it.
The tight end used all of his 6'4", 6'5" frame there, because that was 6.
That was looking like a pick 6. I think that was from the safety, number 60.
Yeah.
He read it perfectly. That is Freddie McCauley. He just sat in that cover 2
I
zone.
think it's 4. So I think he had the robber technique. Which is real. I mean, I know it's crazy, but it's a real compliment to Raven. If he's playing cover 4 and making a tackle for a 4-yard loss, you got to love that. Yeah, look at the leverage, look at the eyes from the corners, look at the even safeties. They're in their game plan here. They're in
third
cover
and 12
4.
gives. I tell you what, I was just about to say big hole, but Burwell, did he come downhill in a hurry and close up that hole? That was a big hole, and half a second later, number 3 with great pad level just came through and closed the door.
When I was playing linebacker, all my coaches were saying block shed, block shed, block shed. 10, 15 years ago, the language changed to block destruction.
Yeah.
And Ducey didn't make the tackle, but he just decided that there is going to be no hole because I'm going to insert myself in the hole and see what happens.
I thought this could go for 6 or 7, and it just closed the door instantly. So it brings up 4th and 11.
Vikings in the rush mode, showing Coach O'Regan's special teams DNA of go for it.
That's a good
Burwell
snap.
has a huge.
Oh, and Joyce was close.
It's a one hopper, and we got a return.
And he's got on the bounce. It makes a second man miss.
And that's a great.
Number 42, Phil Sabelli. If he could have held on to his block just a fraction longer, it could have come out the outside.
Number 51 for the Roughnecks makes a huge open field tackle against the guy in full speed. That's Jack Conn. He did an unbelievable job of tracking him, wrapping him, securing the tackle.
You've now seen why I'm struggling with these Roughnecks names. They're done in alphabetical order rather than numerical.
Yeah. And unfortunately, someone's slow to get up here. A few guys' helmets off, checking on them. Jordan Hall. Okay.
Connor Joyce informs us he's got a stinger on his elbow.
Yeah.
So let's talk about field position. This is the best field position we've seen to start a drive from.
Yeah.
Inside the Roughnecks half.
I think it's going to be a little bit of time. I just want to analyse something that Connor Joyce said. What a prime athlete, huge player for this team. He is so singular in his purpose. He comes off the field and says, we need to sort this out because I'm going to block one. And if he keeps coming, I'm going to block one and cut him. And that obviously is what happened. He knows he's got a stinger on his elbow because Connor Joyce has hit him as he's launched for the block.
So Jordan Hall jogs off. It looks to be okay.
Yeah, he's a tough kid. He'll be back. Yeah, we've seen a lot of play on this side of the field that's been good. We've seen a lot of cutbacks go the other way, but we're on the right hash here with a huge amount of space. I really want to see what the Vikings can do. Look how narrow.
Yeah, I mean,
we've got
stack
Dion's
again
line.
as well. So we've got
the stack is pretty much up the hash here, maybe just outside.
So QB, is he going to give it and then throw it on second down? Yeah, it gives. And just far too much penetration off the Roughnecks front four.
Yeah, and there's a 5 loss. That's bad. I think when he made the move on the first one, he would have lost 2, but unfortunately he was gobbled up. What's really interesting is when they went stacked to the field, really Roughnecks had 3 over 2 over there. They played it quite hard, so it's that narrow alignment didn't really help them because
So we've got cover 2 look now. 43.
It let the linebacker play both roles.
So if they do play cover 2. Let's look at the depth
4.
of 89 of this cornerback. He's 11 yards.
2 or 2 man or 4, but he is.
I mean, just throw the hook. Drive him deep and throw the hook.
So
brings up second and 15. There we go. Throws it. There we go.
Yeah, that's
so
a
they do a
play.
good job of pursuit, but he still picks up 6 or 7.
Now, what's really interesting is that they're still in that smash concept. I know that's what they call a now tag, where they shorten that hitch down, but the ball wasn't delivered quick enough.
I was going to say that. Why don't you just run a 6-yard hook? Because the QB can catch it. No laces, turn and throw, it hits him. But he's caught it 6 yards rather than catching it at 0. Even if you make no yards afterwards.
The danger on that is if the cornerback stays
jumps
and traps and jumps, it could
Yeah, but
be
if you're
6.
running a smash on the outside, you just throw it over the top, don't you?
Yeah,
so here we go.
Assuming
We've got
that 22
left.
can't get there, but I think he can. He's quite an athlete.
So give right on the zone, cuts back immediately, and there's a hole immediately.
Oh, that's another good tackle.
Yeah, number 20 in the open field tackle.
Now, Kev O'Regan's a special teams specialist. He's kind of in range here, but I've got a feeling statement time. Let's go.
So Darren Henderson with the stop, and it was a big stop.
They're going for it here.
4th and 1.5 on the Roughnecks 28-yard line. I spoke to Coach O'Regan before the game. I said, what's the game plan? He just said, just win today. They're just going back, executing their base plays. He said they've installed nothing. They're looking at the tape from last week. Execute.
Now the Roughnecks are emptying the box this way here. Taking 55 out the box is a big gainer here. And good penetration from 73, and it's stuffed. It's a bit too straightforward for me.
So Andrew, what the thing is, if you look at the scheme, they went skinny on the box, so the QB can give it, or, I'm just going to say this, I may have said it before, fake the handoff and keep it, because everybody in that box committed to the inside zone handoff. The QB can keep it because, as you said, they thinned the box out. You got cover 1, you got a low and a high over each stack, which leaves a 6-man box. If you're going to run the zone read it occasionally, keep it and run it to space.
Yeah,
we've already seen him do it once and he picked up 15, 16 yards
The
untouched.
difficulty with it is if those kind of D linemen really want to gap shoot and gamble, it's very hard to block them well. If they really want to gamble.
So we've got turnover on downs. Roughnecks take over on their own 27-yard line. Tries the counter left.
And he's tackled well. Josh Tucker in with a stop there.
I mean, number 11.
So number 11, there's 2 players wearing number 11 today. When it's on offense, it's Nathan.
Yeah.
And when it's on
Defense,
Nathan,
it's
the
Alex.
backup QB, and it's on defense, it's number 11, Alex Shellard.
Alex Shellard got great penetration, and he forced the running back to take a stop, and he couldn't actually get a head of steam behind that pulling guard's block. So we had a power run play, which was nice. QB rolls right, looks downfield on a flood play to number 1. That was nice.
He's out of bounds with about 4 yards to go. So
I mean, that was a designated rollout. It was a power play. Sorry, it was a flood play. We had 2 receivers, although very, very closely bunched. I don't think the offensive coordinator will be too happy about how close his intended targets were. Don't have. Did you see who called that? Was that number 11?
No, I think it was maybe 85. No, it
So
wasn't.
you've got trips left.
Trey left, yeah, they're going to use the tight end and the trips. Again, making Ducey Burwell the kind of +1 player.
Drops back, looks left. Rolls right. Got a bit of space as well. That is intelligent play.
Yeah. You could see how early the wide receiver broke off. That's definitely something that is more actively part of their game plan. The receiver ran a hitch, took one look at it, then turned to block, and the QB instantly took off. The Vikings try and complete the pass for maybe 1 second longer, squeezes the field a little bit.
He's got a good turn of pace, the QB today for the Roughnecks, and he wasn't. He was aware of where the chains were. It was a very smart move, getting that ball over. Just keep the chains moving.
And here we go. So they've got a first down with about 55 yards to go on the field, 60 yards maybe, and it's the end of the first quarter.
Yeah, and it's 0-0. And let's be honest, Vikings are expected to win this game, but as I say, 3 years ago, exactly the same situation, 1 division below, and the Vikings took this team too lightly.
Yeah, and then,
I'm trying to build up a bit of momentum for this game here, Jonathan.
Yeah,
Don't cut me down. It's still 0-0.
It is still 0-0. Here's the big difference, though. The Vikings have conceded no points for 3 games in a row, including against a team that scored 400 points against the rest of the league.
Similar defensive record to when these teams met 3 years ago?
Not quite. Similar, but not quite.
So Reese Elmsley today is the QB at number 18.
I think it will be a
Lewis
bit of a
Hughes, number
freak
6 in the back.
if the Roughnecks score.
Yeah, it's going to be a tall order for them.
Yeah, it's going to be something like a broken tackle, a missed play, a pick 6, a kick return. I don't think they're going to string 20 plays together and drive down the field and punch it in.
Yeah,
I'll say that nice and early for you.
Well,
you can hold me to it later.
We've not seen what sort of arm strength Reese Elmsley has today. I mean, how strong is his arm? Can he actually make that vertical threat?
By not throwing the ball vertically in the whole first quarter, you can kind of guess.
And traditionally, Aberdeen have relied on a run game. I mean, last year they had a good run game. They had a QB that didn't make mistakes.
Yep.
Ball control offense. So it's a big change to go to spread. So singled out to the right, gives it up the middle, and yeah.
I mean,
you're going to get short-change inside zone today.
When the running back received the handoff, he didn't quite have full control over the ball. He was kind of cross-arming it. The ball was north-south. His arm was going east-west. And I was like, Dick Carr's going to strip it. But I've just realised
Dick Carr's not here.
Dick Carr's not here. And that's a huge thing. If you're going to run the ball 20 times, Dick Carr's going to strip the ball 2 times, at least. So that's a huge change.
So QB rolls right again, looking for number 1. It's good coverage by. Josh Tucker read that perfectly because 85 was open. He's a big target. He's got good hands. Tucker came over at the last second and did enough to make him drop it.
Josh Tucker. I've both said too much and can't say enough about Josh Tucker.
Let's just say before Tucker's hit, what we saw was Connor Joyce took away from the out by number 1, who was the intended target on that rollout.
Yeah, I think it was by number 2. I think he was reading number 2 vertical because I think it was cover 4. Number 1 runner go. Raven covered him.
Your QB knew when he's played previously, number 1 would be open on the out.
The big difference between that and the last play was that Matt Dyke had phenomenal pressure front side, which hurried the QB.
Right.
The last time they ran that play,
he had time to set up and read.
didn't get contained. So the QB just ran for a first down.
Yeah.
This time he had to throw it. He actually did a really good job. He gave his player a chance, but Josh Tucker had
the QB did a great job delivering the ball. That was,
presence.
you know, 85 sit up in the hole.
So there was a flag down there, but it's been waved off. Not sure exactly what for, or whether it's just a total accident or a drop. Vikings going to receive the ball on their own 27-yard line, which again is the field
might
position.
get a few yards as well.
Yeah, the field. No, it's been waved off.
Right.
The field position's been healthy for them. They've never been backed up yet.
No,
okay.
so they're on their own 28-yard line, 29-yard
The
line.
Roughnecks have come out from their own 10-yard twice, and that pressure and that nervousness is going to build over time. Oh, I am screaming for 81 vertical, 14 speed out
Yeah,
here.
I mean, look at 41. Number 20 has been asked to cover number 14 in the open, and he's given him, what, a 12-yard cushion?
What if 81 runs skinny? The safety has to help. Oh, we got a bubble.
Throws the bubble. You got to throw the bubble.
catch and
Catches it in
go.
full stride. Great block downfield. Beats a tackle.
Yeah, 27 does a real good job. He missed him early on the angle. 27 can't give Jordan Matthews that much leverage. There's too much space to work with, and he missed him on the first angle.
And then Dion Feather throws a block as well to give him some big space.
But number 27 kept his feet, kept his energy, and come back for the tackle. Another thing about Dion, though, again, he only had to block the receiver from 14 yards downfield to 15 yards downfield. That's not, you know, the cornerbacks need to be more physical here.
So let's see what we see on the other side now. This is one of the plays that have been Coach O'Regan taught. He had an RPO on the give.
SOS.
Yeah, exactly the same. And they've got the back on there. He's going to RPO it probably. Put it in Johnny's hands. Look, throw the bubble. There we go. And 55 did a good job there because in the open field he tracked it very quickly. He's not as fast as the receiver, but he got there.
That really shows the difference there between how good 55 and 27 are.
Well, he was aligned much closer to the line of scrimmage.
He was, and the throw wasn't quite as good, but big sort of miss there was Ross Conlon. Ross Conlon realised that 55 was going to make the play, so turned and watched him make the play.
Rather than pursuing,
If he'd blocked the second guy coming in, Jordan would have been able to have space to go upfield. When he had to go sideways, 55 completed the tackle.
So Ross Conlon.
And now look here, you can see that 27 is actually a B gap
look at
player.
number 20's depth here. I mean, Coach O'Regan said they're going to have an RPO off the inside zone with a bubble, and they're also going to have an RPO off the inside zone with that slot running a stick route.
Yeah.
Now at the moment, stick's probably not on because 20's got eyes on, but if he runs a bubble, all you need is a decent block from 81 and a half decent throw from the QB. And you've got number 14 in the open, Jordan Matthews.
Yeah. As it looks here, though, I still think the bubble's pretty good and it's been on and they've had a big success.
Well, on the right hash, I throw it again. But if you just throw it until they stop it. Look at their alignment. Number 21 cannot make a play on number 50.
Number 27 is
14.
kind of trapped inside that box. True B gap player there.
And 20 walks up now.
Makes me think 20.
So throws a hook underneath against that soft cover 3. Picks up a block, cuts back.
He's done extremely well for the yards after the catch there.
The cornerback's really soft again. They're bailing. They're lining up deep and bailing. That hook on the outside's there.
The humble hitch is something that I'd love to see a lot more of in Brit Ball. When you've got athletes who are well balanced, can make a move immediately, the corner either has to fly up and gamble or risk get juked.
Yeah.
And you're up against good athletes.
Well, what you're saying, Jonathan, is I trust my guy in space to 1 in 3 beat you in space.
Yeah, and as always, make the cover guys tackle. Make the tackle guys
So QB looks left against number 81. Sees what sort of secondary cover
27,
we've
you
got.
can see clearly he's going to leave the box this time. His relationship
Still
with
got
the
a 6-man
DN is
box,
very
though.
obvious. He's
Still
going to
can throw this ball.
He's going to fall.
Yeah, here we go. Throw the corner at 89.
I misses.
I mean, the intent was right. It just couldn't quite deliver.
Yeah, Ross Conlon will be disappointed. The 3 throws that Henry's made at Ross have all sailed high.
Yeah.
Just a series of
And he was an absolute clutch player last weekend against
huge.
East Kilbride.
Huge.
You know, every single one that came near him, he managed to drag down. He made yards every time he was in contact. He didn't bust anything, but he made 3, 4, 5 yards every time during the tackle. So here we go. We've got looking left again. Expect an RPO to number 14 on a corner, 81 on a slant perhaps. Number 20's favouring outside, yeah, it looks. Oh, you got a feel for number 20 there because he's put on an island. He went outside and all that happened was 14
and
just
the
cut inside him.
The QB didn't process that quick enough.
No.
27 kind of gave it away and was creeping. And rather than just catching the snap, standing and delivering, he was like, I'm going to take an extra 3 steps.
Yeah.
I'm going to move right in the pocket. And by then, 20 had caught up and it had become too late to throw that ball.
Yeah. I mean, 20's putting in an impossible situation here. Look how deep he's lined up. Oh, well, he's
creeping.
He's caught a break now. He's caught a break.
But that's only because the end zone's gotten so close.
Yeah. So motion left into Trey. And it's an outside zone. Johnny cuts back. 64 and 55 on the stop.
You know, that's not a bad
That's
game.
Josh
That's not a
Barrow
bad
at
gainer
64.
on first or second down, but on third down, it's just not enough, and we're going to see the field goal team for the first time today.
Phil McKell, number 55 on the stop, who I'm informed reliably is the better looking of the two brothers. Phil McKell at 55 and Phil McCall at 55 and Matt McCall at 99. So I'm saying live on air that Phil is the better looking of the two brothers.
So is 99 the smarter one? I mean, wearing
Well,
99, I'm not sure.
Someone will have to put some comments down at the bottom of the internet on YouTube stream. So it's wide left on the hash. It's not an easy kick.
It's actually kind of better for Jacob though, because he has a tendency to curl it just a bit too much. So if he starts it and curls it in,
it's a low snap, a nice hold, a good rush through the middle.
Yeah,
and that is right down because number 73 was ours. Yeah, number 73 was there again. We're going to be saying his name a lot today.
If Jacob
Andrew Watts.
If Jacob misses, he normally misses the left upright. So being on the left hash, you'd think, oh, he's further to the left, but it actually opens his hips and promotes him to curl it. So when the ball crosses the crossbar,
it's going straight.
It's going perpendicular, and it splits it, and it's a lot easier for him to measure actually.
So 3-0 to the Vikings in the second quarter. Where they need to be. It's not been as an impressive a start as some would have forecast.
No,
looking
but
at these two teams'
I
records.
must say it's a little. It's not too disappointing, but it is a noticeable thing. The Vikings are kind of light this week.
There's a couple of key linemen missing. Starting left tackle Howard Snape's not here.
Yeah, right tackle I believe. Howard Snape's missing. Eden Faye's missing, centre last game. Dick Carr's missing, who was left tackle and D-end last game. You know, they're 3 big boys that are missing.
Yeah, well, they're 3 starters from your line.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
And you've only got 9 starters in the line. So there's a third of your starting linemen not here today.
Now, interestingly, taking the field for perhaps the first time is number 36 on this near side, Jordan Keeble. Huge pickup. Extremely good rugby player. He's come from Bishop Auckland Rugby Club, where he's playing sort of semi-professionally. But the difference is he's American-British dual citizen.
And already putting a hit on 63.
Yeah, he's an American, half American, half British dual citizen who played high school football in the States. Very good all-round athlete, had D2 offers, but went to play D1 rugby at Florida.
Right.
He chose the good school, he chose the sort of life, and went for that D1. So that guy was a D1 rugby union player. He's since come back over here.
You know
He's
why?
been playing semi-professionally rugby. He's a winger. Asking what position he can play? Well, he was a Wildcat QB, a running back, a slot receiver.
And he's
DB.
moved over here permanently?
He's been living over here for several years, yeah. I believe this is his home. He's just got a split nationality.
So here we go. On their own 19, drops back, looks right, throws it under. Ooh. Throws it underneath.
And that's Leonard Burney. And Leonard's a guy he comes in, he's known for his big impacts. He's started a few fracas with hits at the sideline this season.
I mean, he was one stride away from maybe getting both hands on that ball.
Yeah, but he shows great range to disrupt that pass route. And yeah, going back to Jordan, when you're 1 game away from the playoffs and you pick up an experienced player who's extremely athletic, because of the outreach of the club, because of the social media, because of the streams, it starts to, you know, they always say the harder you work, the luckier you get.
Trips right, and Vikings playing loose. Have only got 1 low and 1 high over this trips package.
I think they kind. Well,
hard
this
count,
is be a
defensive jumps.
So
we have a running back screen left. It's the first time we've seen
it. Aberdeen are fairly unlucky there, because absolutely, when you have a fake when you
gotta
have
go
that,
long.
Yeah, when you have that sort of false start situation and everyone hesitates, a screen is the absolute worst play to run because everyone hesitates, sees the screen, runs the screen.
Well, if you've got trips right with one guy, just throw it as far as you can down the right sideline. What's going to happen? A pick, and you just take the 5 yards.
Yeah, I don't think you can throw it that far is the issue.
Yeah.
But I think they're baiting them into it. You saw Leonard Burney's range on that last play. We know that Richie Howe can fly at strong safety. I think they were kind of going, go on, run the rollout. We've got inside-out coverage. We trust our cornerback deep. Bring it.
They go trips right again. 2nd and 5.
Yeah, if you look, Leonard's just inside shade on the 3, and Richie Howe's got space to work.
Gives it right. Cuts back. That's beautiful running by the running back because there wasn't a lot on there.
It looks like it's been signalled as a first down. Yeah, the chains are moving, and we've got a first down here. And
Number 3 in at running back. That's the first time we've seen him today. Ben Jackson.
I don't think these guys are going to go 18 plays in a row, drive it down and punch it in. But you know what?
They just might.
I'd love it if they did.
Oh.
What a game we
had. Oh, yeah, light the game up. Because that's the thing, if Vikings lose today, they go back to the number 2 seed, and guess what's waiting on them? A bus journey down to Sandwell.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't want that in the first round of the playoffs.
No, absolutely. And the games versus Sandwell are going to determine where the conference goes, because we just have no idea
Drops
what
back,
the other
looks
conference
right
is
again.
like.
It's flushed out.
That's complete.
Number 88, nice set of hands, 20 in the open field, makes a good open field tackle, put himself on the line. It's Thomas McKean for the Vikings.
And you can see here another form tackle from the Vikings cornerbacks.
So Aaron Mitchie on the grab, number 88.
These DBs fly around and they are very good tacklers.
Well, contrast the two teams at the moment. I'd say on the defense for the Roughnecks, the cornerbacks haven't looked particularly good. They look like cover 3 cornerbacks. They're quite soft against the run. Where I've seen something totally different. In cover 4, we saw a cornerback step up and make a 3-yard tackle for a loss. The motion left.
Yeah, they might rotate with trips 2 in motion. They've got to wait. They have waited. The ball snaps.
It's fumble snap, picks it up. He's flushed left. He's got a bit of time. Beats Burwell on the outside.
Now, there's a real interesting one. Almost, I think, impossible for a referee to actually see. But the D lineman was held there by his glove. He had his glove ripped off by the O lineman. That is, the referee.
Maybe he just got his watch strap caught. In the
potentially,
player,
yeah, potentially.
That happened a lot last week.
Yeah.
Well, Reece Elmsley, the ball was snapped on the floor. He picked it up. He had pressure. He still managed to look downfield. He reversed out left. He was looking downfield for the pass and then committed to the run. That was a great play for number 18.
Yeah, definitely made the best out of a bad situation.
So we've got trips right again, and the Vikings inviting them. Rolls right, looking for number 1.
He shouldn't leave his feet there. QB, cool as ice, picks up what he can. No.
So number 33 is trying to do a little bit too much. Adam Scott, all he needed to do was break down and force him back inside. You've got to trust those players downfield, giving you decent coverage.
It's a bad play, but the refs got involved when he didn't need to here. You know, you got a one-hand push out of bounds that is maybe half a yard at full speed.
So our referees today, head referee is Liam Wooten. We have Roy Davis, Frank McParlin and Darren Sterling, a 4-man crew.
Yeah.
Let's just talk about the need to recruit more referees, Jonathan.
Well, yeah, after that call we do. It's just indicative of something like, it's not a big hit, it's not a dangerous play. The QB's reaching the ball out with one hand. He's trying to gain every single yard. It's not like he's sliding. No, absolutely, because he is reaching this ball out with his hand.
Is the referee saying that he'd already stepped out of bounds when contact is made?
He absolutely is. He absolutely is. But it's like one of these things, we were talking about pre-game about all the holding calls last week.
Yep.
There are rules, and they aren't exactly binary. You absolutely, by the letter of the rule, can call that play. You also don't need to.
Well, here's the thing, Jonathan. The referees have set their stall out now. We know what they're calling. The question is, are we going to see discipline on this Vikings defense?
But, you know, a lot of the crowd who were watching last week
trips left, first
had a big
and 10
discussion
on
about
the 25 of the Vikings.
They wish they called none of it.
Oh, and it's a fumble! And it's recovered by the Vikings. And that's the second time we've seen a problem. You highlighted it earlier in this quarterback-tailback exchange. He never quite handed it off cleanly. He was bobbling it. That's number 89 on the grabbers. That number 99?
Tom McHale. And that's really good to see because Tom McHale was working with a physio pre-game. He passed a late fitness check to make sure that he could, be that sort of... To be able to play, which, as we said, there's already 3 or 4 starters missing from the big boys.
Yeah.
So Tom McHale comes in. He's already a starter, but he passes his fitness test. He gets the hands on the football, and the Vikings have got out of jail.
Here's the thing, Jonathan. The Roughnecks are driving downfield. That was a good drive. The Vikings get a turnover. This Viking defense, how many times have we seen this in the last 2 or 3 seasons where they've taken the ball away?
They're huge. The plus minus is huge on this team, and it's one of the things, like when you keep saying that the strength is the front 7.
It is, as well as the secondary.
But it's the fact that the only option is to throw it up under pressure, and the number of interceptions.
Okay, so
you get
Roughnecks
is huge.
in cover 2 now. Got a 42 box. That is a great surge from the offensive line. The running back had nothing to do there. He just sat up and saw Black Wall surge forward.
And Matthew Carney was blocking the free safety 15 yards downfield. Here's what's interesting. They were in cover 2 when the Vikings put a tight end in. So they had 11 personnel. So cover 2, read 1 player, 6 men blocked, easy money. You know, if they're going to have that tight end in, that might be when they need to bring the extra player into the box.
Maybe the Roughnecks need to gamble a bit.
And it looks like they're doing it. 20's a lot closer. They have seen it. They've now got 8 in the box versus the 11 personnel. Back is
gives
show
it
pressure.
again, cuts right. That's a beautiful jink cut.
Yeah, and Tiga picks up the first down and a few more.
Now here's the thing. You can tell Tiga's now getting to this stage where we'll call him a veteran, because a younger player would make that cut and they'd instantly think, oh, touchdown sideline. He cut back into the centre of the field because every step you take is a yard further downfield rather than to try and bounce it. No, but what I'm saying is, Jonathan, he's taking the hard yards, which is straight down the gut.
Tiga has a history. When he first started, he was a bouncer. When Coach Graham Kelly and later Coach Johnson took over at Northumberland, and I was there as well, we were talking to him about north-south, 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 and it is his biggest thing. If he stays north-south, he is a premium back. Yeah, when he bounces,
not much doing there. 85 on the stop.
Hey, but they're committing them. They've got a no gainer after a 7 gainer, but they're making the Roughnecks commit to this box.
I mean, Rob Hayes playing it. Middle backer made the stop.
Now it looks like at second and 10 they might be able to play that 2 shell. The danger about playing 8 in the box versus 11 personnel is you still present 4 verticals.
Yeah. As long as you've got that killer at tight end who can go deep.
And we know number 89 is a big body.
He's got a good set of hands.
And he's got a good set of wheels. Every time the safety swaps feel
like
we've
got cover 1 now.
Or 3.
It's man, cover 1 man. Nice finish to the play off Tiga.
Yeah, and absolutely, and that was one of those kind of broken handoffs again.
Yeah.
But Tiga, I just said he's not so great when he bounces, but on that situation, he was absolutely right to do so. But right at the end, when contact was initiated, vertical drive.
Well, that's the thing. As the great Emmett Smith said, you got to know when the play's over and lower your shoulder and pick up a couple yards in contact.
And he was all right.
Yeah, he was okay. He had a good offensive line now and a good QB and a good feature back.
Ezekiel's got a better beard though.
Yeah, I'll still take Emmett Smith every day of the week. So 3rd and 6 against cover 2.
I think the safety's going to rotate down.
No, it's Sean cover 2. He's coming back up. It's cover 3. Drops back. He's got time. He's got nobody on. Is he going to tuck it and get the first?
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
Easy money. Now, Dion on this side was screaming open. I don't know what the play was. I don't know what the read order was. But number 81 on this side had time to clap, had time to wave, had time to scream. I don't know where we are here, but that was a big advantage.
Yeah, I think because
they've called that short.
So it's 4th and 1, and the Vikings are going for it. On about the 43-yard line of the Roughnecks.
And this is where we might...
Winning 3-0 currently.
Yeah, this is where I think that they assumed it was a first down, as we did.
So looking at 14
they
on the bubble.
called the play, And they just said, okay, we'll let it ride.
Oh, he gives it.
He's got it.
And Johnny bounces back. Number 22 in on the stop. That's a beautiful open field tackle by Pretty Boy again. A free safety coming downhill. But most importantly for the Vikings, that keeps the chains moving.
Yeah, big play there, and there was a nervous air on the sideline. Coach O'Regan kind of said, what? It's not a first down. And maybe I was thinking, is he going to call a timeout? No, he backs the play call, he backs himself, backs his team, they punch it over. But again, it was that auto bend, that instant bend that attacked the backside B gap. Really interested to speak to Coach O'Regan after the game to see if that's something that they put in.
Yeah, so we've got a flag down, probably for offensive false start, which is unfortunate. We had that.
No, there would be a whistle. So if with no whistle, it'll be 4 men in the backfield or something like that. But that's a strange one.
So we saw that RPO, the inside zone onto the bubble. QB felt that the Roughnecks just weren't doing enough to cover that slot.
Yeah, it's offside defense. So on a false start, the referee blows the whistle and ends the play. Because obviously the defense have an advantage. There's lots of defenseless players on the offense. But when the defense goes offside, the offense is allowed a chance to play to see if it's a good play anyway, and it was.
So at the moment, the Roughnecks edge defenders, the outside linebackers being asked to cover these slots, haven't done
Jordan Matthews' leverage is huge over here.
Yeah, on the left-hand side, number 14,
sort of
and we're going to see this
concept with a now
RPO again. Oh, he gives it this time.
That's fine, because you see the 27, the apex player, getting involved in the tackle. He may have just convinced him that being in the box is the right place to be. But again, that smash concept with a hitch corner is huge. And if they run the now, and the corner doesn't bite on it, you've got a one-on-one with a very athletic player. If the cornerback does bite on it, I'm not sure Pretty Boy can cover 40 yards of space with a 5.
No, he's got inside leverage on number 14.
But he's not just got inside leverage,
55 can't cover him to the outside, so.
Safety's rotating away as well.
Yeah, looks left. It's flushed left. Seemed to be a little bit of a miscommunication there. We had the left-hand slot
it was kind of like
the inside release, but the QB wasn't looking for him there.
What it was like the smash, but from a full concept, so slowed down. So Jordan Matthews stemmed his route inside to hold the safety to break out later.
Right.
The
short
like
defender
kind of ran like a whip type idea.
Yeah.
So they were running the smash, but they slowed it down, and unfortunately, due to the pressure, it was just too slow.
Yeah.
Now they've got
we've got stack right,
stack out here, and you've got.
And we've got 2v1. And look how deep that cornerback is on the right. So we have
he's
one of the
also
safeties,
giving up
number
about
20.
5 stones.
You've got to throw it right here. Number 23, Jacob Shot. We've not really called his name so far. I think we're about to. So 6-man box still. Oh, he gives it, but Johnny makes an arm tackle. That's beautiful inside running.
Now what's really interesting, there was, well, unfortunately there's a lineman down. And that's the lineman that was subbed in, I think.
Starting right guard.
Oh, is it the starter?
Yeah, I think he was starting today.
Was he not the guy that was subbed in when Ollie Monaghan went off earlier?
Maybe.
No, it wasn't. I can see 73's up. Okay, so that is the starting right guard, unfortunately.
Now what we're seeing here, Jonathan, is we're trying to call the plays because that's what we do. The QB handed it off. Johnny Mbai, who's run this inside zone play over and over again for a good few seasons now, and he's at the situation where if the Roughnecks backside over pursuit, what we're seeing is him cutting back each time. And they've got to have that outside guy in the box. He's got to be there for the cutback, or indeed the QB pulling it and running it. Because I'm saying here, if you've got that inside zone right, what's to stop the QB pulling it and running it when the outside guy can't even get to the running back?
Yeah,
they're over pursuing so much.
Yeah, it's a difficult one because you saw actually on all of the last few plays, Johnny's received contact. Not much contact. And it's not enough to bring him down, so it's not just that...
It's arm tackles.
Yeah, it's not just that you draw it up and you go, okay, this guy's a scrape exchange defender and this guy's going to be the... You know what? sometimes it works for defense, but you only get an arm tackle. And because Johnny is purposely, like I say, I think it might even be a game plan thing where they're bending so quick. No running back has stopped his feet in the backfield and cut back to the backside.
Yeah. So Jack Hunter gets up under his own steam, number 71.
And he's hitting the line with such speed that he's running through that occasional contact. So I think the Roughnecks would be thinking, we could have tackled him, we could have tackled him, but the physicality. Okay, we just got us some score updates, and there is a huge one going down in the Prem North. Manchester Titans 17, Tamworth Phoenix 0.
And the winner of that one takes number 1 spot and gets home field
and
advantage.
Avoids the Warriors. Okay, that's real. That's
for
real.
one game at least.
But what a big shout out to one of the sort of organic, natural supporters of us, the Facebook group UK American Football Scene. It's got a bit more of a fan-based lead, and some guys, big supporters of the Bulls, big supporters of the Titans. I know, I think there's a top contributor, or maybe even the page owner, Jason Bowder, is at that game. So if you want updates on that game, UK American Football Scene,
okay,
they promote
Stack
us.
On both.
We're happy to promote
Got
them.
to throw the ball here. You've got Stack left.
55's
Roughnecks
lead in the
been
box.
really loose, and they thin out to a 5-man box. We've got a counter right. He's flushed right.
Yeah, and that's a great play by 73 to get the ankle tap. Johnny's slow to get up, but he makes it. Yeah, and there's some other big scores around.
Yeah, we've got Nottingham Caesars 0, Shropshire Revolution 14. If Shropshire win, that puts them through as number 2, and they will travel up to the first place in this conference.
Assuming the Wolverines don't beat Sandwell, and they're currently 23-0 down in Q2, so that's looking unlikely.
And we've got Yorkshire Rams 7, Glasgow Tigers 6.
So if the results hold, Warriors are 1, Titans are 1, Blitz are 2, Phoenix are 2. So we get Phoenix at Warriors, we get Blitz at Titans, we get
Trips right on the narrow side
at Vikings.
Singled out on the left. Let's see what number 4 is going to do.
Bride at
is that false? Yeah.
Yeah, East Kilbride at Sandwell. Let's have a look down into
if they stand in this one, we're going to have East Kilbride away to Sandwell Steelers, and we're going to have Shropshire Revolution travelling up here to Vikings.
Yeah, and there's no score so far in Sussex Thunder Berkshire. Hertfordshire Solent are playing a 7-7.
7-0, yeah, and the Cheetahs really need to win that match. If they lose, then Sussex Thunder can sneak in.
Well, I think Sussex Thunder, if they win, they're in. Because they've got the head-to-head. But Solent's an interesting story because they're looking to pitch that perfect season. Other side, all the games are close in the other divisions.
So that last play, Jonathan, number 81 was on an island against number 4. He ran a slant. He's been put on his own. We're going to see a slant corner here. Just throw the slant.
I think he just ran. He overran the slant.
And
he
here we
ran
go,
to
number
where
14
the help
in
is.
the
I
open.
think there's going to be a flag here.
Flag again.
Jordan Matthews is forward in motion, and this play isn't going to count.
Looks the back of the end zone. That's.
Yeah.
He shouldn't be making that throw.
Yeah.
He should have hit number 14 instantly.
Yeah. All null and void though. 2 errors on this play. Jordan Matthews was forward in motion. That's going to be the call here. But is that the QB for not snapping the ball? You know? Jordan Matthews was on a motion shoot.
He was, and nobody shifted over, so he's uncovered instantly.
So
get him the ball.
So you see that he's trying to escape. But maybe the QB can snap that the moment he crosses the centre, realising that he might not be open now, but he's about to be open.
Well, so illegal motion, as you called it, Jonathan. The QB should know that, because as soon as he went in motion, there was no shift or rotation or anything in that secondary.
And he should have been looking at the eyes of 55, who was the near side linebacker, the play side linebacker.
He didn't move at all.
And he wasn't interested. He was totally focused on his job of staying in the box. Now, what's really interesting is we've got 4 versus 1 over here. Roughnecks are misaligned. I don't know what's happening here. They've got 5 players outside the tight end.
Bounces it out, beats 1 tackle.
Now, unfortunately on there, the Roughnecks have kind of got away with one there. From where the tight end aligned, the Roughnecks had an outside D end and 2 linebackers and 2 defensive backs.
Yeah,
that
there
means
was a lot of guys.
from the tight end,
there was a D end, an outside backer, a safety, and a cornerback, all account for 1 receiver.
Yeah, and so from the
was that Randy Moss they had out there? He still beat you.
From the tight end's nose to the right-hand side of the field, the Vikings had 10 players, and the Roughnecks had 6.
Well, It brings
the
it brings
ball
up
went
4th and 14. They're going to go for it for the field goal again.
And again, it's a similar distance, similar space.
Left hash.
Nice for Jacob. Lifts it, curls it, straight down the middle. 6-0.
Roughnecks got a nice high charge at the middle, but because he didn't have so much range to make, he just sat back and kicked it up high.
And one of the best things that happened to Jacob. Jacob joined us as a goalkeeper. He was a Durham first team goalkeeper.
I thought you were going to say golfer there. I've no idea why.
He was a goalkeeper, and he used to drive everything. You know, that goal kick technique.
Yeah.
Huge range on kickoffs in his first season, but he had a few blocks.
Low trajectory.
So his main coaching point was always, if you have the range, lift. If you have the range, lift. And that is something.
Was that a song?
Maybe. After years and years and years of purposeful practice, he's been coached by Kev for 4 seasons in a row now. Special teams at Durham, special teams here. He's turned into a
See, we have a different approach. You call it purposeful practice. I would call it years and years of the coaches screaming and shouting at him.
Yeah, and that's the difference. We're hippies. Laissez faire. Whatever it will be, will be.
So here we go. We've got 2 scores, Jonathan, but it's still only 6-0. A touchdown ties it for the Roughnecks.
Okay, then do you think the Roughnecks score today?
Offensively or just generally?
Just score. Do you think it's more likely or less likely there'll be a shutout?
I'm trying to keep this exciting for the viewers, Jonathan.
It's always exciting for the viewing because we love football, but...
Oh, that's a big block from 69, and he scampers up the side and he just steps out. We've got a late flag.
Like I say, that's the type of thing they're going to have to do. However, they had 1, 2, 3 on the pursuit angle. He wasn't scoring that play.
Number 69, Dougie Pearson, really laid a hit on number 20, I think.
Man,
Thomas McKean.
You're trying to avoid the question. If you were a betting man...
Look, all I know is I've been watching a lot of Boris, and I'm not avoiding the question. I'm just asking you even more interesting questions.
Okay. But I will ask one last time. If you were a betting man...
Shutout means shutout. Is that your new slogan?
Would you bet on shutout or no shutout?
I would favour this Vikings defence, minus Dick Carr, minus Josh Penny, to still get us a shutout.
Yeah, and I...
Sorry, not us.
Yeah.
Get the Vikings a shutout.
I'm
staying neutral.
It's really hard, but yeah.
However, Jonathan, any given Sunday, go back 3 years.
Yeah.
Similar situation, and the Vikings lost.
Absolutely, but just like you've seen in the, I don't know if you're a Tour de France fan.
All of it.
I absolutely love it. Alaphilippe, yellow, hero effort. We all knew he wasn't going to win.
Yeah.
You're still not going to bet on him to win the Tour de France.
Yeah, drops back, looks left. Rolls left, good pursuit from 56. Is that Burwell entry? No, number 2.
Now, have a look at that. That's the strong safety in a cover 4, putting a hit on the QB legally, Richie Howe, 8 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
I wonder if he's got green light on the rollout then, or if they just went into cover 3.
I think it was because there was no number 2.
Right,
I think
so
he had to play number 2 hard.
Downhill.
Yeah, absolutely. Now we see Jordan Keeble enter the game. Actually, sorry, my mistake. Richie was at outside linebacker, which is why he had the green light. He's been at strong safety, but you can see number 36 on that far side of the field has just entered the game. His first snaps on defense.
So Connor Joyce comes over on number 1.
Lucy Burwell
QB
moves to middle backer, and he's in trouble.
That's good pressure for number 33, but can't quite hold on to him.
And he throws it
away. We've got a flag down as well. Is that a holding or a block in the back?
Most likely.
So number 33 gets through again, Adam Scott, but once again he doesn't do enough to actually stop the QB.
No, and he was really annoyed. He wanted this to be subbed out last time, because the last time they had a play around the edge, he lunged at the QB, left his feet.
Yeah.
He's another product of that Northumbria Mustangs era of Kelly, Johnson, etc. And he knows that he's been told not to leave his feet. Don't jump, don't lunge, keep your feet alive.
No, there's nothing worse as a D lineman if you get through, make pressure, and then the QB evades you, and you think, I could have ended this drive with a sack for a loss of 6 or 7.
If I took one more step.
Yeah. See that prize, Jonathan?
I know, yeah. See that prize, throw yourself on the floor. Hope for the best.
So 2nd and 15 on the 11-yard line. Got Trey left trips with a tight end left. Talking rubbish. You've got tight end right.
Hey, they
inside
had,
give.
so that was some sort of 20 personnel. It looked like they'd gone to 2 backs. I didn't notice it initially. Ducey Burwell from middle backer pointed it out to the Sam linebacker over here and said, hey, full back in, full back in. And it looked like they had 20 personnel. That's half time. So we missed the 2-minute warning there.
Yeah, nobody took a timeout.
No. But the
Second and 15, you can throw it down the field a couple times.
Yeah,
you never know, you might get lucky once. But what you were saying, are we going to see them score?
You might also throw a pick six.
You might.
And the game right now is live.
Here's the thing though, Jonathan, right? You look at the coaching manual. I'm not going to be rude here, but by the form of the season, Vikings are the better team. If you stay conservative as a Roughneck offense, you will not win. Your only chance of winning is a great performance by your defense. You gamble and you get lucky one more time than you need to. Yeah. So you're not taking timeouts. You're not launching that ball 50 yards downfield. You're not giving yourself a chance to win.
I think there's a time and a place for that. The special teams and the penalty had put them in their own coming out zone, and any mistake there, the Vikings might score again. And if we're betting on a shutout, the chance of you scoring twice is a long way away.
Okay.
And so I think if you're at midfield because of the great kick return without the
you're
penalty,
saying gamble a bit more when you're outside.
Yeah, when you don't think the Vikings have got time to score yourself.
And I suppose the Vikings are 2 from 2 from the field goal.
Hey, if it's 1 minute 15 to go in the fourth quarter and it's still 6-0, then gamble all day, every day. But what they really need to do is they need to come up with a game breaker that changes. Okay, their best play so far is the flood right?
Yeah.
It's best when the QB takes off and the receivers block. It's only going to get them so much against this athletic, well-balanced.
The QB's not going to bust one for 60 yards. He's going to get tackled.
Very good tackling defense.
Yeah.
So, can they run sprint right reverse? Can they run sprint right running back draw? Can they run sprint right
maybe hit something off the
flea
backside?
Flicker? Can they run pitch right pass with the same patterns? Can they do something off that gets the defense out of position because they pursue so well? If they can convince the Vikings to overplay that, maybe they've got something.
And that's going to be tough against the secondary of this Vikings,
well,
which I talk about their front seven, but you look at the secondary, they're very, very disciplined.
Yeah, but you look at this, and they're very much playing inside out as well. They're giving space, they're giving grass, they're giving leverage, and they're playing it inside out really hard. The big question is, you've just been promoted to Division 1. You're known as a defensive team. You've already switched to the spread. How deep have you gone? And I know it's the last game of the season, but when you're practicing once a week, do they genuinely have a flea flicker?
Well, they practice twice a week, and they've played spread for a few games, but they didn't start off, and they've got a new offensive coordinator.
Okay,
so everything you say stands in
an even shorter time frame.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so do they have the flea flicker in the playbook? Do they have the trick plays yet?
So we're joined by Mick Tyler.
Hi.
We're just kind of wrapping it up for half time. We're going to an advert break, Mick?
We are, yes. We're going to do a couple of interviews. Because of the technical difficulties we had to start the game, we didn't run any of the interviews, so we're going to run them now. I think we're ready. Yeah, okay, we'll be back in a minute. We're just going to have a break. See you in a bit. Joined by head coach Kevin O'Regan. Hi, Kev.
Hi, Mick.
It's getting regular, this.
Yeah, it is. Last game of the season, division on the line. Looking forward to it.
Good. Not nervous in any way?
No, not nervous. I mean, I always get nervous before a game, but I think that's just my mental makeup. But confident, but we have got a job to do, and we can't underestimate these guys. So.
Yeah. I was talking to Bryce earlier, and he was saying that they've come to win.
Yeah,
because they've really got nothing to lose.
Yeah. Bryce is a good guy. I've just had a good chat with him there. His team are going to come and spoil the party. If it was the other way around, I'd be wanting to do the same thing. Yeah. So we got to respect that, and we got to take care of business. So.
Okay. So, any particular plans for today?
Well, I mean, I spent a lot of yesterday and the day before looking at what went well against these guys in the first game, what didn't go so well, and we've game planned accordingly for that. We're always going to run the ball, but we think we can get the better of them in the past game today. So
we're
expect to see the ball in the air quite a bit.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, it worked really well against EKP, and it got us into position to win the game. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
Is the mantra.
We had full strength because we had a few people missing from EKP.
Yeah. So we had a few guys missing. There's a few guys missing again today, but different guys.
Right.
A couple of guys are on holiday. A couple of guys injured, but nothing major. I mean, the guys that we're missing, we will miss them, but
Yeah.
it's an opportunity for someone else to step up and win a spot. So going into the playoffs, so
Okay.
we go with what we've got, and that should be good enough on the day, I think.
Yeah. How important is it to get a home game for the playoffs?
I think it's massive, especially in that first round. You know, I mean, we travel well. We've only lost one game this season, and it was here. We've won every game on the road, but generally we would prefer to be at home. You know, home crowd, live streamed game, hopefully. You know, this place has been a bit of a fortress over the years. If you count up the amount of wins and losses we've had here, I think we're very much in the positive. So,
without doubt, yeah.
Yeah, so you know, it's big for the club as well. It's one less bus to pay for. You know, less money in Howard Snaith's pocket. And, you know, hi Howard.
Yeah, I don't think he realised. He was commentating last week, and I think at the end of the game, I don't think he realised it just cost him. It just cost him a bus.
He did mention it afterwards on the bus home.
Yeah.
But you know, Howard's a great businessman and a great football player, so clearly he was thinking about his business there. But no, I mean, you know, now we've got the head-to-head against EKP. There's a potential that we're at home throughout the playoffs. You know, depending on what EKP do against Sandwell, I think that'll be an interesting game, shall we say?
I think it'll be a close game.
Yeah, I mean, I'd mentioned before, I've purposely not watched any of Sandwell's games, although I have kept an eye on the scores, and either they've got phenomenally better or the division's got a little weaker, and you know,
it'd be interesting today because they're playing Lancashire, who on results are the next best team.
Yeah, and like we had Lancashire in our division last year, and they're a good team. You know, we had a real barnstormer against them at their place. I think 51-42.
It's probably one of the best games I've been involved in.
Yeah,
it was a real cracker, wasn't it?
As a defensive coordinator last season, it was probably one of my worst. But as the head coach, probably one of the best. But no, it was two good offenses going at it. So when the time comes, if the time comes, then we'll get into the film on Sandwell and see how good they are. But I think if they're going to score the type of points they've scored this season against that EKP defence, then wow, like, you know, tip of the cap to you, to be honest, because those guys were legit. They were really good.
I was talking to Henry earlier about the offence just not quite clicking yet.
Yeah,
you know, defence has been superb.
Yeah.
Special teams has been good.
Yeah.
Particularly last week, I thought Jacob's punting was outstanding.
Yeah.
Got loads of great field position, but the one part that really hasn't clicked yet with either Richie or Henry at quarterback has been the offence. Is that because of, you know, like Johnny was missing? We've had him missed a couple of games. Is that why, or is it more than that?
Yeah, I don't think we've started the same O-line 2 games in a row.
Right.
We sometimes struggle to get a full offensive personnel at practice, so that's a frustration. It's my first year play calling. I'm not going to stand here and say, you know, that I'm not to blame for some of that, because I know I am.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm getting better with every game, and I've got a good support team around me who are helping me. Like, I took the OC job on because there was no one else at the time. Yeah. And you know, it's been a steep learning curve for me, but one that I've enjoyed, and I think I'm now at the point where I'm 10 times better play caller than I was second game of the season.
And he'd probably make you a better defensive coach as well, having seen the other side.
Yeah,
of the ball.
absolutely. Like I always say to the guys, like if in practices where we're short on numbers, we always just do, like, we call it one platoon, so everyone practices O, everyone practices D. So wide receivers get better by learning how to play DB. D linemen get better learning how to play O line, and you know, DCs as I were get better by learning how to call an offense. So. No, it's been a challenge at times this year, but it's been a good challenge. But all in all, we know with the talent we've got, like, this offense hasn't even hit third gear yet, never mind fourth or fifth.
There's a saying that we use in business, I use in sales all the time, that you make your own luck when you work hard, and I think that happened to you this week with a recruit.
Yeah.
You know, it just sort of turned up.
Yeah. So we've signed a guy called Jordan Keeble from he was at Florida University. He was actually there on a rugby union scholarship. It's a funny story.
I'm joined by head coach Kevin. I'm joined by Henry Bulmer. Welcome, Henry.
Thanks for having me.
That's okay. For all the Geordie viewers, we will get subtitles put on later.
I made that joke that I heard about the interview.
Yeah. Well, we like to try and offer that service to our viewers.
Oh, I didn't know. I just assumed because I'm Scouse that people might have a bit of trouble understanding. So.
Yeah. Well, I've heard that Geordie and Scouse are similar accents. I don't get it myself.
I wouldn't hear it myself, no.
No.
I think that might be just like a northern assumption, from people who are like not from here, shall we say.
Yeah, okay. Well, welcome anyway. This is what, your second year in Newcastle now?
Yeah, it's my second full year.
I saw you at the Raiders in the book season, and Vikings, presumably you've got another season at the Raiders, or a couple of seasons?
Yeah, I've got a few more seasons because I'm doing medicine.
Okay.
I'll be there for 5 years.
Right.
So hopefully I'll play into my 4th year, so that'll be 4 years at the Raiders.
Okay,
yeah.
well that's good to know. Yeah. So you sat out the first 5 games. Richie started.
Yeah.
And then you took over the quarterback responsibilities. Then.
Yeah.
How do you think it's been going?
I think it's been okay. Obviously, I say this to coach all the time: is there's things that you'd want to do better.
Yeah.
And I think that's how you should be as a player, is like to analyse your game, be quite critical.
Yep.
I'd say I'm always my harshest fan.
Uh-huh.
So I think from a personal perspective, I think there's things obviously could do better, but I've done an okay job, I'd like to think.
Mm-hmm.
But as an offense, I think we've done our job for sure. Again, like a 4-1 record since I took over. Again, a lot of the guys were very disappointed with the loss, and as was I. But I think, again, you can't argue with the results. All the games have been very scrappy.
Yeah.
And again, as an offense, we'd have liked to have, blown a few teams out a bit better.
Yeah, I think
that's
from
the ideal, isn't it?
from certainly from a supporter's point of view, they like to see fast-flowing offensive football. But
Yeah, of course.
at the end of the day, if you get beat, what's the point?
Yeah.
So.
Definitely, it's the product over the aesthetic for sure.
Yeah. So I mean, it's fair to say that the offense has been the weakest side of the Vikings play this year. The defense has been outstanding as always.
Absolutely.
Special teams, particularly with the punting from Jacob, has been spot on. I mean, last week was just fabulous. And the offense just doesn't quite seem to click. What's it missing, do you think?
Well, it's hard to say because I think offense is one of those things that every coach knows that offense is a hard thing to do, and especially do it well because it requires a lot of moving parts and a lot of things that go into making a great offense.
Yeah.
So it's hard to narrow down something particularly for like our offense or anything in particular because again, as a group of guys, I've got no complaints at all with the guys. They do a great job, and the passion that this team has is one of the things that I really like about the team and I really enjoy is that everyone really loves the game here and they try their heart out and they practice hard, play hard, and they're together as a group of guys who really like each other off and on the field, and that shows I think when we play.
Good. I hear you've been recruiting this week.
For the offense or what? In terms
I heard a story that someone just turned up and you've got him starting today.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Well, outside of training, I always do like a few throwing sessions a week just to try, obviously, because you got to put the hours in. They say 10,000 hours is what you need to become excellent or something. And so obviously I'm so far behind Americans, so I was just doing some throwing in the park in pads, and this young lad came up to me and it was like, hey man, what are you doing? Like, you see your pads? And he was talking to me about he went to Florida and blah blah blah.
Right.
And I just mentioned we got a team. You'd love to, if you want to come down, you're welcome to.
Yeah.
And he jumped at the opportunity. He's been a great guy to meet and get involved.
I believe he's playing today.
Yeah, you should see him, Jordan.
Yeah, excellent. Okay, we'll keep it up. See if there's a few more available next week.
Yeah.
Although I think we'll be too late to join next week, actually. But there we go, in the future. So, anything particular today that you're going to do?
Oh no, I wouldn't like to make any predictions ahead of the game. Again, you see people, the professionals, and they do these interviews. They always say like, "Oh no, you don't want to predict predictions on things," and I'll be the exact same.
Yeah.
Again, for me, as I mentioned before, win first, worry about the how it happens second, and just stick to try and do what we do well, and stick to what we do.
Okay, well,
team.
thank you, Henry. Good luck.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thanks for having me on.
No bother.
Traveling this holiday season, you are going to want to get this, guys. Check this out. This is the homing pin. 1%. Now, this seems like a low number to me. 1% of all bags carried by airlines are misplaced. That seems really low. Anyway, yeah, exactly right. For a family of 5 traveling twice a year means 20% chance of losing your bags.
Now, Homing Pin provides travelers with baggage loops with tags, key rings, and stickers that have a unique tracking number Homing pin labels can also be attached to cell phones, laptops, cameras, and passports.
That's right. You can get a 15-piece standard pack for $20 or a 5-piece starter pack for only $10 at homingpin.com. Now, we spoke about this a couple weeks ago with our tech expert, Nika Allen. So if you want to get a recap on that as well, head over to casa.com. But really, really great stuff because it will locate, regardless of where it is, it will locate your bag. So you don't have to rely on the airline saying, well, we don't know where your bag is. You can say, you know what, I'm going to do you one better. It's right here, I can tell.
I can tell. Can you imagine though, like flying into the Sunport and be like, my bag is in Miami?
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
Good afternoon, everyone. We're back here at Druids Park for Vikings versus Aberdeen Roughnecks. The field's been cleared, the referees are back out, and we should have kick-off kind of inside a minute.
Vikings won the toss, they deferred in the first half.
No, the other way around. Vikings had the ball first of all, it was kicked deep to Jordan Matthews.
So I was right, except for being completely the other way around.
Yeah,
is what you're saying.
The Aberdeen Roughnecks deferred, assuming they've taken the ball. They'll be looking for a special teams play to crack this field position. Just as we went to the advert break, we were talking about, you were absolutely right to talk about their need to go for it, their need to be a little bit more inventive, adventurous, aggressive. And they really got to do that with reasonable field position. So this special team unit's got a big job here to set the tone.
Maybe some sort of reverse on the kick return. You know, we've just seen straightforward middle runs.
Yeah. And actually, if you look at these teams walk out across the field, your note about consistency is right. Kind of to a man, the Vikings are a little bit taller, a little bit leaner, a little bit more athletic. They're going to fly down here because this is where they want the game. They've got the lead. They've got the league's best defense. They're ready to play football.
So number 22, Pretty Boy, and number 6, Lewis Hughes, back to return.
And Lewis Hughes has been playing wide receiver today, haven't we? But we've not really seen too much of him so far. He'll be keen to get his hands on the ball.
Number 22's made a couple. He's had one dropped interception, but he's also had an interception.
He's had two pass defences as well.
And he's had some good coverage, and I think he's made a couple tackles as well, Jonathan. So,
yeah, absolutely, and he's definitely one of the sort of most athletic, balanced players.
Yeah, there's a few standout players on this Roughnecks defence.
Just as the plane takes off.
So it's a high, short kick. Feels it cleanly.
Yeah, a great tackle from Jordan Keeble there. Super wide on his contained path, maybe a little bit too wide, but very good athleticism. Near shoulder, near hip, wrap-up tackle. But you know what? Roughnecks have done the job. They've got the ball on the 40. Position. It's only a 90-yard field, so that's only sort of 55 yards away from the end zone.
Not even that. I mean, they're up to...
so they're on the 35,
yards,
60 yards then.
So it's good field position, as you say.
55,
we've got to see what we're going to do here because they've tried the inside zone and they've got absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
The only success they've had on the ground is when the quarterback scrambled. He's had a good eye for the first down marker. Passing games have been a bit scrappy. I've not seen too much from this Aberdeen offense. Let's see what they've done in the half time.
The outside receivers are tall and lean and look like they're two vertical players, but we just haven't seen it so far. QB uses his feet again and unfortunately gets sacked.
See, I don't know what happened there because both wide receivers, sat up and blocked. Certainly the receiver on the left of the Roughnecks offense, number 8, fired out and put his hands up to show a stalk block, where the QB was dropping back looking to throw it. So maybe that's
some
a
sort
miscommunication
hey,
in the huddle.
maybe it was possession and 10, some sort of breakdown hitch and go route that just didn't have time to develop.
Yeah, well, he didn't explode off the ball. He sort of jogged out. So it brings up 2nd and 11.
So we've got trips here onto the short side of the field.
Well, we've got man coverage now, a cover one. We don't really usually see that.
Yeah,
Full
the
start
left
from the
tackle
offense.
gets an early jump. What was really interesting there, the middle linebacker Josh Tucker started creeping on his blitz path, and the old lineman realised he was losing the angle and took off just a bit too early. He was like, I hope the QB snaps it right now, because right now is when I need to go.
Well, that's the thing, an experienced QB will just stop his cadence then, let the linebackers do what they may, force them to stand still, and then snap the ball.
What's really, really interesting is when they were in the tray formation, the Vikings defense didn't adjust very much.
They're really
as soon as they were in the trips, the strong safety came down and pressed number 2.
We've got 3v3 here now with a cover one. It's a
fake.
fake.
It's a pass.
Throws it underneath to 85. 21 was there, and you just give him a little nudge at the end just to say, I was there. You think you're open, but I was there. But I don't think that's going to do anything to 85, because we've seen him last year in that Div 2 final. He's a real baller. You'd expect him to, if Rob Hayes, if that ball goes anywhere near him, he's going to catch it and take the hit afterwards.
He showed early on when he broke up that overthrown ball, intended for himself but overthrown, that was a pick 6, that he's got a huge range. So for the QB to miss that crossing route, really interesting though. Number 3 in the trips, usually something where you'd see your most athletic kind of side-to-side player. If you're going to use your tight end in that formation, you tend to see Trey open. You tend to see Trey. And he goes across the field in that kind of mesh, that shallow cross sort of thing. Unfortunately, the single high safety in that situation is Connor Joyce, and he wasn't born yesterday.
So Adam Scott limps off there. It's playing D-line. I'm not sure. It looks like an ankle or a knee.
And it looks like they've subbed they've subbed on Leonard Burney, who is a career linebacker. He used to be a quarterback. And then he started
number 28?
No, 28, yeah. But he's got a motor and he's an athlete.
So he's up against a tight end. So we have a draw play. Oh, and he breaks 2 tackles.
Yeah, he gets a few, but on 3rd and a boat ride, it's not really enough. Really interesting. Leonard Burney he's hit hard. He's that guy who started those sideline fracas. He's athletic. He's hard. He comes up, the right tackle sets, and he just slaps him. Have you seen that Russian World Championship slapping contest?
I haven't.
But I look it up. It's an
now.
Unbelievable new pro sport. But he comes up and he just gives him the inside move, and honestly, he just sat him down. And Leonard may not have played much D-end, but he looked like a vet right there. He just came in, slapped him to the turf. Oh, seriously, it's hot on Facebook right now.
It's good snaps, good charge. Punt. Got nobody back on the coverage.
Lovely angle. Bounces out of bounds. Great job, Roughnecks.
So good coverage from 20 and 22 on the chase. That's Darren Henderson and Pretty Boy on the chase. Give number 14, Jordan Matthews, no chance of a return. So offense trots out quite slowly. They're not really under any rush. They've got a slender lead of 6-0.
Yeah.
But as you said, the Vikings defense are really stiffening against this Roughnecks attack at the moment. The inside zone's got nothing. We've seen a few new plays. We've run that sort of half mesh with the inside on the trips formation. QB couldn't quite deliver it.
Yeah, there's sort of like a shallow cross. Number 2 was vertical. I think he was working that sort of in between free safety, in behind that sort of walked up strong safety, and the number 3 crossed the field.
So Twins left.
This is
number 55 walks out. Let's see where he lines up.
We're screaming here for some sort of speed out concept to number 14. The corner's going to back up on this near side.
And Johnny cuts back again. Number 85's in on the stop.
Well.
Rob Hayes again.
85 does extremely well, but you can see the mindset from the cornerbacks, even when he hadn't moved.
I mean, he was bailing before the snap.
You could see he was gunning.
Cover 3,
you see he was gunning.
So one thing I don't understand, Jonathan, is if you know you are a cover 3 team, why don't you just line up a bit closer, and then if you are going to bail straight away, but give the QB something a different look every now and
it's
again.
how much you back yourself. And Dion over here is a great athlete. He's got great range. He's got great speed. Cornerback's a bit tighter. It looks like we're in a cover 2 here, which might change the situation a little bit. We've got motion to balance.
Motion right, stays in the cover 2. Outside backer drops, 55 on the coverage. Flushed right. He's into space. And he's done enough for a first down.
Absolutely, really nice. And you see as well, I just spoke to the young man at half-time, not someone I really know, number 69 for the Vikings, Lukas Sesknjevic. I'm going to go with, apologies, Lucas. I just spoke to him and said, hey, I think you've had a really good first half. I introduced myself because he's not someone I know, he's a new player. And they've marked this short by 1.5 yards when he was easy screaming over. That's twice they've done that.
That is why we need a bit of instant. I'm speaking to Mick Tyler here. We need instant replay just to review that one, Mick, because both of us thought it was a good 1.5 yards beyond the chains.
Good news
when he stepped out. It brings up 3rd and short with ½ yard. So they're going to go for it all on the left. They got singled out. A cornerback's up close.
You're going to go. Looks like it's coming. We've got man coverage. We're expecting the blitz, the strong safety blitz. And Johnny finds a little seam, very delayed, and gets vertical for an easy first down.
Well, the offensive line got a good push there. They were 3 yards downfield before Johnny had to do anything in
going
contact.
back to the previous play, Lucas, the left tackle, had been beaten, and he was in a situation where there may be a hold, and he just threw his hands up in the air, said, oh, oops, sorry, I'm trying to get out of the way. He put his sort of belly manhood sort of on the guy and just ran him around the corner. Real veteran play from the Newcastle Raiders left tackle. Sorry, left guard I think he's at now. They've had a bit of a switch around. No, has he come off the field now?
So we've got cover 1.
No, he's at
back
right
to
tackle,
cover 2.
sorry, right tackle.
Drops back, looks right on the speed out. Oh, and that was thrown high and behind to intended target number 89, Ross Conley. We've been singing his praises. It was a poorly delivered ball, Jonathan. So just behind us, Jonathan, we've got, that sounds like a full turbojet in reheat on its way to Sunderland Air Show.
Yeah, absolutely. Will that be a Vulcan or something?
No, God, that was only twin engine. Full reheat though. Takes me back.
So what would you suggest that would be? A Tornado? Can't see it in the cloud cover.
Not sure.
Here's one from the clutching at straws department. Sandwell have conceded 8 points. Vikings haven't conceded any.
Sandwell are 10 now. They'll go 9 and 1.
Oh, not if they get beaten though.
So downtown on the seam. It's overthrown outside.
Not if they get beaten, huh? Points differential would put Vikings. They've already stood. What's your read? Sandwell got a win.
So we had 4 vert there, Jonathan. He went down the sideline. He put it right on the sort of, to the very edge of, I'm going to call that catchability.
Nice, made up a word.
But cornerback played it pretty well. A decent position.
Yeah, ball's thrown off the field, and actually against
Expect
the split,
an inside zone handoff.
Against the split field coverage, the all vertical is a little bit less effective.
Now, number 73, Gary Elliott, offensive lineman, was beaten on the plays up against number 73, who's one of the standout players, Andrew Watts, for this Roughnecks offense and defense, and he just got through. It was only a 5-man box. You'd expect them to give on the inside zone. They did, but it was just a straight 1-on-1 matchup where number 73 was too strong. Got great penetration, got his hand on the running back.
Oh, the Red Arrows.
No.
Is it Red Arrows?
No.
It's a different stunt team. Looks like a World War II design. Lovely
They're
split,
turbofan. That looks like a Tucano. So we just got the got a 9 ship from the Sunderland Air Show has just returned on the break.
And it's a beautiful punt.
Moving punt, great chase.
There's going to be a flag here
Was
because
that
there was
a fair
a fair
catch call? Yeah.
There's got to be a flag for afters to cancel it though. There absolutely has to be a flag to cancel it.
Now, did he have his hand up there for the fair catch, Jonathan? I didn't see.
I believe he did.
Well, in that case, that's a foul.
However, when a player runs 5 yards and shoves someone, they have to also get a USC.
Yep.
And it's at this stage of the season, when we've seen what Howard Snaith got ejected for 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, for no flag to land there, that's disappointing. If we're going to stamp out any reaction, we've got to stamp out all reactions. I mean, I'm in the let them play.
You know what?
I'm in the let them play. It's a tough game. It's emotion, right? But
those days are behind us, Jonathan.
But well, apparently they're not, because this crew has just let a player run up 5 yards and shove someone.
Maybe they didn't see. Maybe they were so outraged at the punt returner giving the fair catch signal and then being tackled afterwards.
Yeah, and frustrating for the punt returner, because he's done absolutely what his coach has told him. Perfect technique. He's got every right to be angry. He doesn't have his right to put his hands on anybody, okay, after the play. But he has the right to be angry, because he's done right. The Vikings have 100% done wrong. It's been compounded further. If you think about the situation last night, where we had last week, we had 41 flags for a variety
41? Did somebody count that?
Someone went back through and counted. There was at one point there was 17 flags in 14 plays. If you're
17 flags in 14, that's not even possible.
No, it
Jonathan.
is, because you can have multiple. They had five flags cancelling each other out in one drive. But if you can do that and you can charge and shove people from 15 yards away, then we're playing a different game, playing prison rules.
Well, shout out to Roy Davis, but much to the consternation of that punt returner, after putting his hand up and showing a fair catch signal, there was contact. So the chains march forward.
And
pretty much on the halfway line.
Coach O'Regan's going to take the time out to reiterate the point I've just made.
Yeah. Well, it comes down to what you say. The referees can be either particularly harsh or particularly lax or straight down the middle. All we need is consistency
at
in
this
the calls.
sideline.
Is that your case?
Yes, at this sideline with Aberdeen driving, someone puts one hand to the hip of a guy that's reaching the ball forward trying to get a first down, and he's late by half a second, and he does hit him out of bounds, and the flag is instant from the other side of the field. Here we have a player outside the rules of the game trying to make a physical statement against the opposition. That's the type of thing we're supposed to be stamping out. Now again, I'm over passionate about it, because we all know there's a lot of love for these guys. I just have a feeling that if a Vikings player reacts in that manner, the flag is coming in.
Well, it's quite a long conference with the head coach, Kev O'Regan, for the Vikings.
Yeah, and it's going to be the usual thing that they didn't see it.
Well, just putting an appeal out to our viewers, especially if you have some sort of background in football, you've played before or coached before. We are screaming out for more referees. These guys do a good job, and they're massively in short supply.
Yep.
We need to get more people through.
Absolutely. And you know what? It is a position where you are going to be criticised, as all referees are. I think criticism is valid. We take criticism as long as it's constructive. And our key point here is about consistency, not just consistency in a single game, but consistency in the season. You get to learn referees, and you get to learn what's okay and what's not okay. And from what
it's like we said, it's consistency. If you know what they are and are not going to call.
If the critique is specific and helpful and accurate, then critique has to be okay.
So 85 in at the tight end on the right.
As Durham's head coach all the time. And if it's nasty, I ignore it. If it's constructive, I listen to it.
Inside, give left.
And that's Aberdeen rolling back the years, well, not even the years, the months a little bit, to something that's a lot more purposeful. All O-linemen acted together, white wall, driving down the field.
Yeah, well, they're running the ball behind number 73, Andrew Watts, who he's one of the better players in this team. Number 85's coming at tight end. You know you're going to get a shove from him. Yeah. And what you're saying to this Vikings defence is we're going to run with purpose between the tackles, and they're going to run behind the best guys.
And one of the things...
Drops back, looks right. Flushed out number 99 on the stop.
With a sack, beautiful. And what we've got to look at here is right now, short field. The Vikings So there's a little story that you might have heard down here. We have got Tom McHale on the sack here. Tom McHale is a player that's played football for about 3 years at D-tackle. He's a huge run stuffer. He's a huge gap
Please
eater.
don't tell me he's never had a sack.
He's never had a sack, and it's like it's one of these memes that's become a team thing. So you can see the sidelines absolutely buzzing now. That's the type of play they needed. I was about to say, I've got a feeling a Vikings player is about to step up and redress the physical balance.
Yeah,
An Aberdeen player's just been allowed to run up on one of the boys. So I've got a feeling someone's going to put a body on someone pretty soon. And McHale's stepping up with a sack.
Slipped into it. We're just
Can
going
you
through
feel
the
the
motions
lull,
of
though?
it here.
Yeah, can you feel the lull in the Vikings? The Vikings need someone to spark them back into that sort of attack mindset.
So we've got twins left, got an H back right.
And we see that the line...
Motions left. That's a nice play design. Number 85 from the H back. Motions left.
There's a flag on the play.
Do we think that's
from
a late
the
hit?
umpire? I'm not sure, because it might be all linemen downfield and they might realise it was a screen pass, so it's okay. He might have preemptively dropped the flag. I don't know if it was a screen pass. I don't know if he crossed the line of scrimmage.
Well, either
or not.
way, he got enough for the first down. That's a beautiful play. They faked
The
him across the
hand
left.
signal that Roy Davies, our umpire today, has just given to Liam Wooten, the head ref, looked like he was saying like he scooped him, as if it might be some kind of high-low situation.
Yeah.
Which probably means that this is
First,
coming back.
if that's the case, it's
No,
the
they've
first down.
waved
It's
it
waved. Well,
off.
either way, it's a first down for the Roughnecks. And that 6-0, before the half we were saying they're not going to score, but they've got a first down, and it's just outside the 30-yard line of the Roughnecks, the Vikings. The Vikings need to do something, because this little lull has given the Roughnecks their first chance. If they score a touchdown and kick the extra point, it's 7-6.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's still a lot of real estate here, but like I say, I can feel it. The Vikings' defense is flat right now.
Yeah.
In fact, one of the flattest I've seen in the season. They need a spark. They need a blitz. They need
Straight
a hit.
right.
They need an annihilation of someone. They need an interception.
Let's give on the inside zone. We've got that bigger running back in. Drives a pile. He
It's a
picks up an
3-yard
honest
gain,
2.5,
3-yard
3.
And you can see right in the middle, sat on the floor, Tom McHale, what he's more known for is making a mess, making a pile.
Now let's talk
Does a
about
good
this
job.
formation, because we've got number 85 is in at the inside slot, and he's got a one-on-one matchup, I believe, against number 13, and there's a clear mismatch in size there. We know 85 can play.
Yeah. Now Jordan Hall, physically, he doesn't look like a lot of the rest of the
So we've got
Vikings
man
defense.
cover one.
But he always finds a way of playing bigger.
So rolls right, throws to 85. As I said, catches it. He stopped short.
This is huge.
I'm not going to say I told you so, Jonathan, but number 85 just grabbed that one, and they're knocking on the door. This is
They
first and
absolutely
goal.
are, yeah.
The Vikings have to get a stop here, or they could go behind in the third.
And this is going to be tough. We've got first and goal at about the 4-yard
We've
line.
got 35 in, who's a bigger guy. We're going to see him bang up the middle, see if this Vikings defense is honest. We've got man coverage. Here we go. And Burwell is there. Oh!
Oh, you got to read him.
Well, we called the play, but he knew it was coming as well, and he was there in a hurry.
Yeah.
That is a beautiful tackle.
Absolute stoned.
So the Titans currently holding on to a slender lead of 17-14 against the Phoenix.
And that's 2 scores in a row for the Phoenix. Vikings just sub on 2 huge defensive linemen.
Yeah, they're going to stiffen this
the goal
middle and
line
maybe
in.
get a bit more coverage off the back.
So with the Aberdeen going no huddle, going up tempo, they took the risk that they could get something going. Ducey stones it with a huge hit, and now they get to sub those big D
I don't know
linemen
whether
in.
you heard that on the camera, but we could hear that down here. He absolutely lit him up. So we got cover one man, Burwell creeping, he's on the rush. It's a big hit again, QB. He rolls right. And now that's intelligent play by the QB. He tried to put it in the very back corner of the end zone, so it couldn't be picked.
And 85 ran his feet to the line and he kept them in bounds, but it
Just-
just faded away from him a little bit.
And that's really good play. Reece Elmsley there was under a lot of pressure. He was calm, he was collected. He didn't force it. He put it in a position where it could be caught
But again,
or out of bounds.
Ducey on the blitz collapses the pocket from the right edge, squeezes him out, makes him throw on the run, and maybe that's where the
Now, to
inaccuracy
be fair, number
comes.
35 for the Roughnecks offense threw a great block on him. He put his
Yes,
body on the line and
absolutely,
stopped
yeah.
him, but
He
are
didn't
you going to
stop
gamble
him.
on that?
He slowed him
So
down.
under centre.
Oh, this is exciting.
Gives it, and it's met immediately.
Matthew Carney.
Matthew Carney and Jordan Hall was there in a hurry. He shot the C gap.
There's your number 13.
Shot the C gap, and he was there.
Yeah, there's your number 13. And Jordan Hall, like we said, they call him Gravy. He is a fairly inexperienced player to the game, 2 seasons total. But he plays bigger than he is.
Yeah,
he has
that
a
was
way
beautiful.
of
So here we
coming
go,
out with
Jonathan. It's
contact.
4th and goal on the 6. The Roughnecks need a score here. They're trailing 6-0. If they can get this, it'll be a body blow for the Vikings.
I'm not sure whether it's the clouds moving in or it's the excitement, but there's a crackle in the air.
So we've got Twins left with a tight end left under shotgun. He's very close to the line. Looks for number 1 on the out. Rolls. He's forced. Oh, 85! Is he in? It's a touchdown! We've got it from the sideline.
Now you
Darren
see,
Sterling says it's a touchdown from the sideline, and that's 6-0. And the Vikings sideline has gone quiet.
Yeah, there was a crackle in the air. You saw
the Roughnecks extra point team comes on. It's tied 6-0.
We've seen 2 issues of sort of poor technique from defensive ends. On the left end before, we saw Adam Scott lunge. On this play, we saw Matt Dyke stop his feet completely. They must just make forward progress.
So number
with
4,
the
the
feet
kicker
and
is
keep the
on. That's
pressure up.
Stuart Dunn. Number 44 holding. Grant, Tugboat Travis.
It's a block. It's a block.
Blocked. So that brings up 6-all. I mean, it was a poor snap.
And so once again, the referees have to physically restrain Aberdeen players with no flag. The complaints coming off the field is that the Vikings player said he was kicked in that fracas. That's why he stood up. But 44, again, is allowed to run up on a player.
So number 44, let's just talk about him, Jonathan. That's Grant Tugboat Travis.
Oh, he's some boy. He's
he
some
played
player.
defensive tackle and then decided he'd play a bit of running back and got the go-ahead score in a Div 2
yeah,
final.
absolutely.
So
you know.
he's a passion player.
Oh, yeah, he's a passion player. You know he's going to... You know he's going to run up on people because he played a nose tackle in a 2-point stance. He played nose tackle in a 2-point stance and was affected. He wants a scrap. He wants to stand up and windmill, you know? But at some point, this crew has to get a lid
He's
on
been
it.
on the dark fruits, Jonathan.
Oh,
that classic windmill technique.
We are not
He's had
sponsored.
7 pints of dark fruits and he's windmilling.
I think that's disrespectful. He's a very good, tough player.
He is.
He's a very
great
good, tough
player. He's a
player.
great player. So here we go. It's 6-all. It's late in the third.
But
Vikings have to do something here because as it stands, if this sits at 6-all, then they are on a bus to Sandwell.
Absolutely, and this is the story that's been told a few times.
I mean, they were lucky that was a poor snap.
Shot and clean return is set up. He's got a lane. He's house. He is house.
He's down the sideline to the 10 to the
No
5.
flags.
No flags. And that, Jonathan, is the way. That is the way to answer a touchdown.
When we
Take
were talking,
it all the way to the house.
When we were talking about a Vikings spark, we needed something to change, and Jacob Shotton is one of the most explosive athletes in this division. Now, really interestingly, there was a block in the back. Down here,
Not
late,
called.
not called. And the linesman looked at it, and I just think he thought, I can't call it. I'm going to get lynched. Because he's missed 2 players run up on people. That's not acceptable. Call back the go-ahead score.
Maybe he just didn't think it was a block. I didn't see it, Jonathan.
maybe
I was
he
so excited.
It was so far behind the play that it had no impact on the play.
What I was trying to do was try to get he could go all the way.
Yeah.
I didn't manage it. I will do one of these days. Well, 23.
And the game is
Shot
alive
up again.
and up here.
It's 2 from 2 so far for the
We've
field
had
goals.
the Sunderland Air Show. We've had the Jacob Shotton Air Show.
73 was there again. Pressure up the middle. How he didn't block that, Andrew Watts, I do not know.
Because Jacob Shotton used that perfect technique where he lifts the ball. The ball is going almost vertically. If you put your hands up, you're not going to block it. In those special team drills, you're reaching out to your traffic cone. You're trying to cut the ball off because if you put your hands up, it'll chip it over you.
Well, that is a reversal. I mean, 6-0 for all of what? Sorry, 6-all for all of 10 seconds?
Yeah. There's a referee's conflab at the minute. Probably saying, did you see that block in the back? No, I didn't.
So, you know, what had turned into a very tense game with one special teams play. And we've actually not seen some we've been spoilt the last couple of seasons. We're expecting to see the Vikings return one, you know, one a game or one every one and a half games. We haven't seen that.
I think no, Jacob's on 4 or 5 for the season already. And it's testament not only to Jacob, because Jacob is a finisher, but it's a testament to his whole special teams unit that worked up to create one lane. And when you talk about it, you say, get up behind your blockers, make one cut, and then go. And I called it. As soon as he was through the front line, I was like, this is gone, because he's going full speed.
Yeah. So a bit more purpose about the Vikings special teams now. Cuts back left.
And that's gobbled up in a big
That is
pile.
swarmed up by 3 or 4 Vikings bodies.
So here we go. We lost our bets. We've thrown our money away on the shutout.
I can't say. I did actually say they probably wouldn't score. I don't think I said it definitively.
I think it's more likely. If you were offered equal odds, I think it was 60-70% chance of a shutout, 30-40% not.
Yeah.
And if you were a betting
especially
man, that's
based
the way
on the last
you go.
2-3 games.
But we're going to have to see what the mood is like when the Vikings defense get this drive underway, because last drive they were flat.
Yeah.
Last drive they were flat. Has Jacob put the sauce on enough that they've just got that little bit of spice back in their lives? Interestingly, they go back to the starting safety pair of Richie Howe and Connor Joyce.
So
it's a play action.
Inside, throws underneath to 85, sure-handed again. Burwell tries for the strip and doesn't quite manage.
And I think it's quite an interesting thing there. He could have secured the tackle. He goes for the strip because it was already a big play, but imagine a turnover right now.
Well, that's the thing as well. 85 didn't see him, so, you know, he's hoping maybe he's not securing that ball as much as he should. He's looking downfield. He's just had a touchdown.
Yeah.
Is he trying to make a move? Can I sneak it out?
Yeah, and I don't think the safeties were not going to make the tackle anyway, so you may as well shoot at the ball there. 85 did a great job to control it. Showed great strength, great presence. Kept his feet driving, and then they're approaching midfield, and there's a little bit of spice in the air. Under centre again, handoff, bounced out.
Trying to run it behind 85.
He's done extremely
they are nice
well.
Scrappy yards from the running back. He worked and worked and worked. He stayed a really low centre of gravity.
It looked like it was an off-tackle play, a stretch.
And
it looked like he bounced
yeah.
and then cut it back, and he got vertical, and I thought he's going to get gobbled up here, but no.
You know what he did there, Jonathan? He kept his feet moving.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it brings up 2nd and 6. Now the thing is, the Roughnecks offense are now starting to fancy themselves because they put a drive together.
Yeah,
to score.
absolutely.
I mean, yes, they converted on 4th, but he did put a drive together. Motion left.
And that's all.
Gives it right, and I think what was an intended counter, but that was blown up in the backfield.
It was like a fake jet, handoff the other way. And actually,
number 11, Alex, I don't know his surname, was there.
When the Aberdeen were at the best last drive, it was up-tempo, it was aggressive, it was
quick
direct,
hitting,
and it was quick. It was boom
they
or
also
bust.
They also had number 73 in at left tackle, which made a bit of a difference.
And he's still in there again.
He's still there, yeah.
But it was boom or bust. And yeah, Ducey got the big hit tackle for a loss, but then they got after it, got after it. They need to keep that throttle down, because like you said earlier, if they play conservatively now, the Vikings will go on to win. Pass
there we go, backside. Off the edge, number 56.
That's Matt Dyke. You saw on the touchdown pass, I called him out. I said, Matt Dyke stopped his feet. He hesitated, he stopped his feet. If he just progresses his feet, maybe it's not a touchdown. This time he never stops his feet. He comes up with a clear sack, and we're on 4th and 2 sticks and a huge change of possession.
Yeah, and also got number 14's back chomping at the bit, Jordan Matthews. Is he going to get a bit of space this time? Because we've not seen any punt returns from the Vikings special teams.
We've seen this sort of asymmetric setup with only one missile, but the missile's done extremely well. But if he gets beat, there is chance for a big return.
Oh, that could be defensive offside. It is. It won't be enough for a first. That's a booming kick. And it rolls into the end zone, but I think it's going to be... So it's offside on the defense, or encroachment on the defense. They'll get a chance of re-kick It's a touchback at the 20. I would take that, Jonathan.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I'm taking the touchback. Unless you've got a fake. Unless you've got a pretty good fake lined up.
Yeah,
And
from your own 30-yard line.
well, yeah, because you're going to lose otherwise. But, like, unless you've got a fake that's like, I think I can get 10 or 12 on it, but I can't get 20, you know? You know what I mean?
Well, what we see then, when we see them re-kick it, because they've
Looks
had
like it.
good coverage so far.
It looks like
I mean, it's
re-kick.
unusual formation, but they've limited the Vikings to pretty much no returns on the punt. So, are you going to beat the touchback? That's the question.
We'll see. That they
if
want
you
to play.
don't-
They want to play. They want to gamble. They want to try and create the turnover.
So we're going to kick it again.
Directly out of bounds, and they've lost
So that rolls out about the
quite a
30,
few yards.
31. So, is it better than a touchback?
Absolutely
no.
not. It's conclusively, objectively, 11 yards worse than a touchback.
So lesson learned for any of you special teams coaches there. Bird in the hand, 2 in the bush. They had a bird in the hand on a touchback.
Especially with such an obvious kick out of bounds. If they were going to hang a high one
Yeah.
and see if he's going to muff it or fumble it
Yeah.
or hit him,
Yeah.
or they were trying to pin him even deeper than the 20,
Yeah.
maybe. But to just punt it out of bounds.
From your own 30.
Yeah,
you're not going to get an angle from your own 30 or 35. So we've got a tight end right, twins left. A cover 2 look. Oh, 73 is straight through.
Yeah, and that's it. You see,
Andrew Watts was there
Yeah.
again. I mean, he's one of these standout players for the Roughnecks. It's kind of
absolutely.
guys you build a
One
team
of-
on and play both
one of
ways.
the Vikings O-linemen, Jack Bell, puts his hand up and says, "That's not good enough. That's me." He was beat across his face. 4 Vikings O-linemen crossed the neutral zone on that run play. 1 Vikings O-lineman didn't. He just happened to be lined up over 73, and 73 is making a tackle in the
Yeah.
backfield.
I mean, he was a play side D tackle, so that's a straightforward block for a right guard. You know who your man is, but he's a beast.
And it's even a cut situation if you're one-on-one.
Gives it again, cuts
Johnny's
back
got a
immediately,
huge
finds
seam.
a hole, makes
He
a
might be
move.
gone.
95 on the
it's fumble.
pursuit. It's a fumble.
Okay,
and Pretty
that's an
Boy's there to
interesting
pick
one,
it up.
yeah. Well, that's a strange one because Johnny looked like he was gone. I think he relaxed like I relaxed. Tomahawk chop in from the side, fumbles the ball.
I think what he was doing, Jonathan, is the receiver on this side, I didn't see which number it was, had a
Dion
great
again.
block downfield and he was slow enough to read the block. He just didn't.
It's this great block downfield.
But he didn't
versus a
count
soft
on
corner.
such great pursuit. I mean, 95 was that that stripped the ball.
Yeah, and he was a little
Winston O'J had great pursuit. His motor kept going and kept
he was
going.
a little bit too far away from that block. If that block is so good, go and press it. Go and run
Yeah.
up to it. Go and slide off it either side because you know that the help is coming from inside.
I know, but you don't expect a backside D lineman to chase you all the way down 25 yards unless he's Randy White.
Yeah, but you know, you got to keep it high and tight and expect contact. 85 did it earlier versus Ducey Burwell.
Yeah.
That could be the difference maker.
Yep. Well, still a close game.
I mean, what's
Did Vikings kick there? Is the point?
Yeah. So what's really
Score now, it's 13.
what's really interesting is there's been cloud cover all day. Great day for the seam bowlers. It'll be swinging like mad. There's a little bit of wind.
So here we go.
It
Trips
feels
left
like
and
it's-
85. Look who's head up over him now. Burwell's been moved
Yeah,
out.
and
They're
it
saying
feels-
enough of 85 catching the
It
ball.
feels like it's going to rain. And that is a stunning job from Leonard Burney.
Yeah.
Now, he's the player that's the outside linebacker who's playing defensive end because of these D-line shortages. He comes up and he plays it like a linebacker. He leads with his near foot. He stutters to make him give it, and then he explodes
Yeah.
because he's got that near foot
Well, he
lead.
did 2 jobs there. His
Absolutely.
job is that backside contain on
Absolutely.
the
and
zone
he
read.
convinced the QB to give it and then exploded.
More,
on it.
more importantly, Burwell was now lined up over 85. They're saying enough throwing the ball at 85.
I think it's just, it might just be left and right. I think it's just left and right linebackers.
So 2nd and 12. Fakes the pass. No.
Pockets collapsed and he's out.
He's getting chased. Oh, that. And Burwell on the
They're
interception.
going to flag. No,
or
they're
was
not
he out
gonna
of bounds?
What was it?
The referees, I think, are going to mark him out of bounds before he threw the ball.
He picked it.
So what looked like an interception, the referees are saying he was out of bounds before he released the ball.
Well, that's not true.
I know, but they're having a chat about it. Let's not jump to conclusions.
The problem is they've blown the whistle.
Just waiting the referee's ruling.
What?
So we're still talking. Referee initially called it an incomplete pass. Well, it was picked. The question is, was he out of bounds or not? So they're going to chat again. So the referees are chatting about this, Jonathan, because they want to make sure they get the correct call. Let's see what the ruling is.
They've ruled it incomplete already.
Yeah, I know, but they've had a chat and they might change their mind.
I don't think they will.
So, ruled an incomplete pass. I wasn't expecting that particular judgment, but it brings up 3rd and 12. Burwell moves over onto 85 again. He covered in man coverage last play. The QB was looking for him.
It's also 4th down. Okay, they're going 3rd down.
So have Vikings got their best player on the Roughnecks' best player?
Well, yeah, I was saying it was left and right, but it looks like you've absolutely called it. Burwell's flipped to the field side.
And the
Shellard
QB's looking
flushes them
downfield,
again.
sets
Pursuit's
up.
there.
Oh, and he makes a great grab.
Wow, number 85 showing his range. He is fully 25, 27 yards.
21, Connor Joyce was over the top, made the hit, but it made no difference
It
whatsoever.
was body and leverage. The guy went deep. He had an outside route. They know that the Vikings play it inside out really hard, but he protected the football with his body, secured the catch, and that's probably the Aberdeen's most convincing play of the day. And it came under pressure. Shellard had great pressure and flushed the quarterback out of the pocket, but the quarterback stayed calm and delivered a strike.
So Burwell up against 85 again. It's
What's
1-all
interesting
on
is
this battle for the last 2 plays. Gives it on the inside zone.
Oh, Burwell.
Who's there on a stop? In the backfield. So Paul Richardson comes on and probably at defensive tackle, just to take away that inside run threat.
He was on early at the interception. We know that Paul is a fiery, passionate guy who talks a lot.
He's a good D tackle. He's one of these guys, you can see him, he never stops.
Yeah, I think he was subbed out to cool a little.
Right.
And now he's been subbed back in. Now he's
Expect him to get
composed.
some sort of push up against this right guard who's in a 2-point stance. Double teamed. Flush left.
Massive hold
Is that
on
a
the
hold
edge.
in?
Huge hold on
Oh,
the
cuts
edge.
back number 18, slides.
And we are.
Could he have got the first down there?
Well, I mean, we just ignored a huge hold. We called it last week that there were too many flags, and here we're being left
Well,
a little
here's the
short.
thing, Jonathan. Most of the time, I would say to QB, you slide every day, but it's come up 3rd and short. If he'd have known where the chains are, he's been very good at this up until now. If he'd known when the first down marker is, he could have got that first down if he'd gone into contact. If you're going to win this game, you have to take a few risks.
Disappointing is they didn't hurry up and go under centre and push the QB over the pile. They didn't run the big back up the middle because he was on the field. Last time, they went quick at the goal line and it paid off. The D gets to recover. Okay, there was a missed hold, but they get to think about it. They can line up. They can run the game.
Spread under centre.
Both backers creeping.
Burwell gets immediate pressure and misses.
QB escapes, keeps his head, and massively gets out of bounds.
He gets enough for but the thing is though, John, he gets it first. Now Burwell read it to perfection. He shot the gap and he dove at his feet and he missed.
Even a player like Burwell, huge player, wonderfully talented, one of the best athletes on the park, you can't lunge.
No.
If he takes one extra step,
he hangs his head in shame.
When he takes one extra step,
yep,
that's probably the game. Just a nice sack there, nice turnover. Let's see what happens.
Well, maybe not the game, but what we've got is the Roughnecks have a 1st and 10 on, we'll call that the 19.5-yard line. So we've got twin backs.
Pass.
He's looking for 85.
Ooh. And the QB's taking a big hit here, and Matt Dyke puts his hands to his head, looks for the flag, but no flag is coming.
85's playing H-back on the right. He motions left.
On like a quick jet sweep type thing.
I think he's picking up the backside. That was a zone right option. You can either give it to the back or you're looking to throw it underneath to the H-back.
That was window dressing, and I think it was a. Well, okay, yeah.
They've thrown it to 85 on that same play. Only because I'm going to put in at T-side.
So
Diana,
like
I'm talking to you and Joby.
Yeah, okay.
But who was there to slow down 85? But Burwell, who almost got the pick as well. So. Trips left, drops back, looks for the single out receiver, throws the slant, it's picked!
And this is a...
Oh, that was just a straightforward, horrendous throw by the QB because the slant was on.
Yeah, he just threw it behind him.
Threw it behind him, the cornerback came up, did nothing fancy, got it with both hands, secured the football and then thought about running downfield.
Great, secures the pick. Gets another 10, 15
Oh, and is that
yards.
the best chance the Roughnecks are going to have this game to actually win it?
We're already in the 4th quarter, aren't we? In the 4th quarter? Yeah, because
yes.
the Vikings scored going that way.
Yeah.
So potentially, yeah. Also, Paul Richardson, after saying he's one of those fire guys, gets to destroy someone at the far sideline, goes into the bench and keeps his cool and gets to walk off from their sideline back onto the field. He will have enjoyed that play immensely because he's got to turn around now and snap this ball at centre.
That was a chance, the Roughnecks. Is that the best chance they're going to get,
Possibly,
Jonathan?
yeah. One thing that's been great today is Paul Richardson snapping. There was a lot of critique. Some good people who know a lot about football. Dave Saul was on it, saying that what's the point in running the spread when you snap the ball over the QB's head? The snap has been very good today.
And he's sacked. 69 was there.
And that's
sorry, 99.
Yeah.
And we're calling him the most intelligent of the two brothers.
Apparently, yeah.
That's Matt McCall, number 99.
One of the things there is quarterback.
That is a big loss.
Yeah, quarterback Henry Bulmer.
Oh, big result.
So we're hearing in the 4th quarter, Tamworth have taken the lead against the Titans.
21-17, which puts Titans at 2nd, I believe. Tamworth, number 1.
Unless the Nighthawks are winning as well. Nighthawks can still play.
No score.
No score yet. We're hearing from the Nighthawks.
Anybody that's got a score from the Nighthawks.
Smash the like button, smash
Sheffield
the subscribe
Giants
button. Get the Nighthawks score in the comments.
9-16
Okay, 2nd and 20.
Sandwell are having a bit more of a difficult day. The 29-16, it's not been their usual performance, but they look like they're securing
Pressure again off the edge.
Season. Henry
manages somehow to evade it and throws
away.
out. That's intelligent play because number 73.
Now there's a flag on the play. It looks like offensive lineman downfield.
Yeah.
Again.
Well,
lack of discipline.
No, because that was an intended, I think, inside zone handoff that got blown up. The QB kept it. He didn't hand it because the defensive line penetrated. He ran out trying to make something happen. So you'd expect the line to go downfield if there's blocking second level. But 73 was there again. Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was just a play action, like scramble.
It was inside zone left, but there was all sorts of pressure up the middle. So Andrew Watts, you know, is that fly in the ointment on the offensive line that just seems to get through these gaps. That's the thing with a zone defense. If you can get a guy who's athletic and it can tack the back shoulder, you know, what you really need for this is some sort of counter where the running back stays on that same side, because the defensive linemen know it's going to be a hand.
But that's where the success came early. We were talking about the almost auto bend, where it was a cutback, but it was happening so fast.
Throws
Huge
it
ball
down
to
the
outside,
sideline. 23 makes
complete,
a great grab.
And we've got a first down and out of bounds, which stops the clock. And you'd think from the Roughnecks have to be a little bit disappointed with that. If you're going to back your corners off all day, if you're going to play soft coverage, you're going to say, we're not going to get beaten deep. Well, running along someone 30 yards downfield and letting them catch it is effectively
Yeah, I know. Hugh Willicks was on the coverage there, but give him his due. He didn't ball hunt. He just stayed with the receiver and made the tackle. Yes, they completed it, but he's not doing anything stupid. He's not giving them any yards after the catch.
And if Jacob gets to catch the ball and land on his feet,
stack
he can
right,
score.
stack left. Got 2 defenders covering them.
Safety's
Brings up a 6-man
looking
box.
and rotating this
yeah,
way.
he gives it. 95 on the stop.
Yeah, really nice play there. 73 made huge amounts of progress and pressure on a contained path, and number 95 just looped back inside to the C gap. I don't know if that's a planned scrape exchange or some kind of combination twist or blitz, but it worked to perfection.
Yeah,
95 ran through the open
Winston
door.
O.J. on the stop, but as you said, that was created by pressure through that A gap.
73 vertical in the backfield, 95 fold in the C gap.
I say this to my players: A gap pressure kills an offense.
Well, that was edge and the inside loop.
So stack formation, second and more and more 6.
Into the game.
Double team him this time, going long over the middle.
Oh, that's a great play from the pretty boy.
Yeah, I mean,
he just reaches his left hand up and takes it out of Jacob's hands, because Jacob, if he doesn't touch the ball there, Jacob shot.
I don't know whether that was the route or whether the throw was too far inside, but the intended receiver just crept and crept towards that single high safety in the cover one.
It looked
You'd expect that towards the sideline to take the
but
free safety out of it.
If it is a true cover 4 and number 2's got some kind of outbreaking route or short route, you're hoping the safety bites and you're going
I think
skinny.
they were cover 1 or cover 3 there. I mean, it's like you said, they might be showing cover 2, but number 20, is he coming down at the bottom? No, there we go. Maybe it is cover 4.
Number 7's a lot more aggressive in his alignment here, though, but he's backing
back,
off again.
Rolls right. Goes for the sideline. Good pursuit from number 95. Winston O.J. was not giving him any time to make any sort of decision or throw the ball.
And the referee's 10 yards off the sideline, showing his foot speed as well.
He's got really good athleticism from the DN position. It's what you want to see, your D-line chase and chase and chase.
I said just a couple of snaps ago, number 95 is coming into the game more frequently.
Yeah.
He had the great pursuit strip fumble. He's had a tackle in the backfield.
Don't forget
he's
he's lining up next to 73, so you've got two good quality players in. What they do is make each other look better.
Yeah, so let's run the zone this way and bend it away from those great players.
We're being told 29-25 Sandwell.
29-25 Sandwell. Not confirmed. Someone at the game or someone Twitter. 29-25 Sandwell. If Sandwell have eased up with their eyes on the playoffs, this could, well, it's still
Gives
not going to
it
cost
again,
them.
up the middle, 95 on the stop, but that's a first down, and it's exactly what you said, Jonathan. They're trying to run it away from those guys. It was only half a yard they needed for a first.
Yeah, and it's way better, because even though it's what we call a big boy block, right tackle on a 5 technique, right guard on a 3 technique, you only have to win inside. So if you dive at the inside hip and they go around the outside of you, a back like Johnny and Bay, a back like Tiga.
Even just that first step, as long as you get that first step and you get the body position, doesn't matter if it's a stronger man, you've effectively opened up a running lane.
Yeah, absolutely. Stretch seems like a real bad out.
7 minutes, 20 seconds left in the game.
Got ace formation. Looked like the cover 2 shell. Got pressed for one of the first times this game. It's an easy
hand
block
up the
and
middle.
Hand off. It's that auto bend away from those 2 key players as well. And Paul is really throwing his body around, trying to get something on the play.
Yeah, 85 Rob Hayes will be kicking himself there, because all he could do was get hold of a bit of shirt and he drove through the tackle.
This has been a great adjustment by the Vikings, really subtle, but as we said, run the zone this way, get on that auto bend track, keep it away from 95, keep it away from 73, give your O-line a simple job to do.
Well, look at our backside DN, number 44, he's not...
Well, 95's off the field now, okay, so he must be doing so much work that he's now left the field. They've got kind of a split formation over here. Jacob Shotton's got acres of space behind him, so in front of him.
And I think that's a false start by the offense. That could be the break this Roughnecks defense need, because 2nd and 5, the Vikings are rolling. They're down on the 23-yard line.
But I tell you what, at 2nd and 5, they put it all. They said, our number 7's on your 23. Have you got the balls to go deep?
Here's the thing though, Jonathan. Winston Ojai, number 95, who we've said next to number 73, Andrew Watts, are starting to hurt this Vikings line. Why is he off now? Is he injured or is he gassed?
Well, it looks like number 4. Is it 4? Has been wearing 45, not 95? Because someone was wearing similar sleeves, but I'm sure it was 95 earlier. But it's 4. Is it 45? And we've just been misreading it.
No, it's definitely 95. But we've got a new guy on 45.
He's just got a very similar
Shea
Under
Muller.
Armour. Okay.
Gives it on the zone. Oh, keeps it. 55's got an egg. It's round the outside. Great block from 23, Jordan.
Jacob Shotton.
Jacob Shotton gets a great block. He had him on the edge of the end zone.
Yeah.
Jacob, great work.
And what was absolutely...
Hey, Henry, really quick, here.
Just trying to hear what the head coach is saying.
So, Henry Bulmer shows great leadership to say to the sideline,
chill out.
Everybody just chill out.
So it brings up 1st and goal on the 5. Roughnecks have to stop this if they've got any chance of winning this game. So late in the 4th.
Number 85, the tight end, is out in at middle linebacker. They are putting an absolute everything into this.
Gives it on the inside zone. Bounces it outside.
And
just loses his foot. Because I think he had enough to get in there, Jonathan.
Just as he decides to go vertical, he loses his foot in.
Comes up about 1.5 yards shy of the end zone.
It looked open to the corner as well. However, those angles are funny from where we're viewing it from. He decides to cut vertical and his outside leg just goes from under him.
Sir. 5 minutes exactly.
So 5 minutes exactly in the 4th quarter.
And the
Vikings holding
running.
a 7-point lead. So we've got stacked formation. And they better put 2 guys out on this near side. There we go. Because number 8, number 89 is going to be blocking for 23 if they only have a single guy there.
The slant looks on. If 89 runs off 54,
or 23 comes inside, gives it on the zone.
Can you see what I mean? If 89 runs an inside release on 55, Jacob Shotton can just follow him. Hey, if they both run a slant, it's not pass interference.
Yeah. Yeah, and we'll see what the head coach calls next time. So Jacob Shotton just jogs over, speaks to the head coach. A quick slant's on, just as we called. Will we see a different alignment from the defense?
What's really important here is remember back to the Patriots Seattle Super
and they
Bowl.
practiced that.
Yeah,
they practiced it.
But what was really important is the Patriots defense, not the guy that intercepted it, but the other guy jacked the point man up.
Yeah.
He made the slant guy go wrong. If Ross Conlon can run at 55 and freeze him, Jacob is in the money.
So we're saying that 23 is going to do a slant and he's getting the ball.
Someone has
Pretty
to
boy
be
doing?
physical
Number 22
with 89
just
at the point.
sneaking over.
They're opening the door. Now 22 sniffing.
Do we have the same on the left side as well? He's looking.
He's left it too late.
Oh, number 80, they ran exactly the same play on the other side, and 22 pretty boys snuck over. And on the back side, on the left-hand side, number 81 was running the same pattern and was wide open.
Yeah. And what's really important is the QB just left it way too long.
So, definitely. That's
right.
not even a laces. Catch it and foul. But it brings a 4th and goal and 1.5. We're going to try and punch it in.
And I think, no, they're going to go for the field goal. Field goal, pretty much,
A field goal will make it a 10-point lead, so that'd be a 2-score lead.
Yeah, and that's a 1-score lead felt pretty strong. A 2-score lead with less than 5 minutes on the clock sounds really good.
And once again, it's on that left hash.
Which, as again, we've said is a positive for them.
He's 3 from 3 so far. Roughnecks have to do something to try and stop this. So they're icing the kicker. So head coach Bryce Stevenson, who I might add is off on a 3-month coaching position in a Div 2 college at the end of the season. He's a civil servant, he's got a sabbatical. I was chatting to him about it before the game. He's got 3 months where he's going to be coaching over in the States. He's just going to have his lugs open and his mouth shut, and he's going to learn as much as he can.
Yeah, it sounds perfect.
This is a guy that's loving his football at the moment. He's got a successful
absolutely.
program. They've jumped up to Div 1. They've stayed in Div 1 comfortably. He's going to go away, get as much knowledge as he can, and then try and drop it on this Roughneck team.
Yeah, and it's you know, it's one of these things where full credit to him. The game over here is still at that stage where it's people making self-sacrifices that get that opportunity.
Yeah.
Great that he's in the position to take that sabbatical and go over there and learn it, and he will have a wonderful time. I was lucky enough to visit.
Also, it gives you gravitas as well, though. When you come back, people are willing to listen to you.
Oh, 100%, 100%.
And not just the fact they've been there, the fact you're willing to actually spend the time and the effort. You're a guy that wants to learn and wants to improve. You're receptive to new ideas. You're not
absolutely.
stuck in your old ways.
I travelled the States for up to about 2 years, helping out at high schools, went and visited Arkansas State, Mississippi State, and it cost me about $5,500 over 2 years.
Which is nothing, let's be honest.
Yeah, for the lifetime experience and set up all the relationships we've built, the understanding we've gained, people that are willing to make sacrifices like Coach Bryce, they are going to be successful.
Oh, yeah.
He already is.
Well, he already
he's
is.
going to be
Look
more
at the program.
successful.
Look at the
and
program.
even if it isn't in football, it's just in life. He's willing to make a sacrifice to go and get what he wants. We've seen it loads of times throughout the organisations I've coached.
So are they going for a middle rush here? They've got quite a few guys over that right guard position. They got a good push.
Richie Howe.
Well, I think Richie Howe lets the crowd know that was good.
Yeah, and Richie is a guy who's been a Camp America type guy. He's travelled the world. He's always a guy who's had 2 or 3 jobs. He's always worked, so he has been on holidays in seasons. This year, when he took a few games off, was when the field goal issues started. Replaced him as a holder, and he missed a couple, and it got a bit awkward. He's back. He's one of those put your smile on a face guy. He keeps everyone excited. You can see the way he celebrates. Great hold,
like the
great
Brett
kick,
Favre
great snap.
Of placeholders. Is
Maybe.
that what you're saying?
He's money is what he is. He's money in the bank. Especially when you combine it with a long snapper, you know, like Paul, you can combine it with a kicker. All 3 people in that chain are excellent players.
So a single interception off a bad throw from number 18 when the Roughnecks were driving down on that slant. That could have been the tied score, and now we're at a stage where it's a 10-point lead.
Well,
probably only 3 minutes left in the fourth.
Most importantly, if on that bad throw early on, if Aberdeen scored with the first 1 minute of the game, we would have seen what the Vikings' mental state was like.
Yeah.
They've been allowed to grow into this game, kind of that juggernaut. It'll happen.
Yeah.
But imagine if they were 7-0 down with 1 minute gone. High kick, fielded cleanly by the pretty boy. He's got a good few blocks, but the Vikings are down,
return.
destructive,
Yeah,
and there's a big hit at the 24. Yeah, Coach O'Regan likes that. He's like, who's that with a flying clothesline? Big WWE fan.
Dick Night Train laying on the clothesline. So here we go. We've got about 3 minutes?
So we're just getting a time check now.
2 minutes, 44 seconds remaining in the game. The Roughnecks have to try and do something here. They've got to get a score and maybe onside kick
Yeah,
it.
and actually the QB showed good range with about a 27-yard corner last drive. So let's see if they open up the playbook a little bit more. You say the wide receivers are tall and lean, but we haven't seen them in the game at all.
Throws the bubble. It's thrown in the front.
Yeah. So we might have a few sort of images that change in the next few minutes as we move one of the cameras. Are we gonna? Yeah. So we might
So Jonathan, there we saw real soft coverage. So the Roughnecks taking a leaf out of the Vikings playbook, just throwing that bubble underneath. Unfortunately, wasn't quite there. Intention was good. That was probably a 7-8 yard gain before contact.
But the issue is, if you throw the bubble downfield and your wide receivers block him, it's offensive pass interference. I'm not sure we'll catch it today, but if you intend to throw a bubble screen and that ball was thrown 3 or 4 yards downfield, it's offensive pass interference.
So Josh Tucker and Adam Scott on the stop for no gain, bringing up 2nd and 10. Shouldn't that be 3rd and 10?
Yeah, they're just changing it now. Third and 9.
And the Vikings defense dropped a long way back. they're just almost playing prevent now.
Yeah,
look at the space over these two slots.
But they also just want to
Burwell
tackle them in bounds.
out in the flats, he gives 85 a bang.
Yeah, they just want to tackle them in bounds as well,
was
really.
hit towards the end, he pops up. So number 32 was tested. It's gone about Michael Raven, he had great coverage, he managed to come back to the ball as well.
I think they've just signalled 2-minute warning. 2-minute warning. So we're inside the 2-minute warning. They've got a 4th and 9. It looks like they're going to punt it away and accept it.
Why do you punt the ball?
Because it's a 2-score game and you've lost to the division champions and you guys are healthy and you go and rebuild for next year. Like, let's be honest, they're not winning this football game.
Yeah, but if you're a mind you've already lost, why couldn't you go for it anyway?
Well,
if you lose by 2 scores or 3 scores, you've still lost.
Yeah, but if you punt this ball away and come out of here with no injuries and go and start lifting weights, get into your pre-season schedule.
So it's a good chase.
You've got to remember that every single time you snap the ball, there is a potential sacrifice to be made by the players. And okay, you can chase a dream.
Yeah, I suppose. 2 and a bit minutes, can you get 2 scores?
Not even 2 and a bit minutes. 2-minute warning, and your 4th and 9 against the league's best defence, with people with NCAA experience flying around out there, and you can't do anything other than finish 4th or 5th in your division. You're safe from relegation.
3rd, I think they're looking at.
They're looking at 3rd,
which is a good season. Let's be honest, they've been promoted.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And at no point have they ever even looked at getting a drop.
Just not getting relegated is brilliant, and they would have known that from the first time they played Gateshead. The way that was going to go. It's one of these things. I get the chasing the impossible dream, but these guys have to go to work tomorrow up in Aberdeen. Yeah. So the Vikings are looking at this. They're going to just run the ball. Keep the ball safe. Tuck that up, young man.
So 85 on the stop.
So here's an interesting one, though.
Rob Hayes.
After saying all that, they now take a timeout, which kind of seems counterintuitive to me. You know, if you're going to take the timeouts...
Maybe they're going to try and get pressure and run some sort of blitz against the shotgun snap.
Potentially get the safety, get the kick.
Easier to score inside the Vikings' 10-yard line than inside your own 30-yard line, perhaps.
Yeah.
Well, 85 has had a great game today.
85 absolutely
He's played
has.
Rob Hayes, he's played both ways, middle linebacker, tight end.
95 came into the game late, but we didn't see him early.
He's back on now.
22's been a little bit hit and miss. He's had some huge spike-up moments.
He's had one drop
boy.
interception.
Yeah,
he's had one interception.
And if you look at the Vikings, I think Paul Richardson's been great front and centre. He's been aggro, he's been aggressive.
He's also played well at D-tackle when it's needed.
Yeah. Johnny Mbaye, the running back, has got probably 100 yards of gliding. Jacob Shotton's hit every kick, which has ultimately been the difference. It'd be 6'6" without Jacob Shotton's boot. And you can see Jacob Shotton there, even though the play's gone and it's a handoff, he's running his slant at 100 mile an hour and he's wide open middle of the field. Never stops playing. There's been some. Ducey Burwell's had some huge standout performances as well. You know, he's had the 2 or 3 stonings of a running back in the backfield.
Yeah, and
a lot of great players on display today. And yeah, I think overall we've come to the conclusion that today's game MVP from a UK AFL perspective.
Rob Hayes
is going to be Rob Hayes, number 85.
He's played tight end, H-back, middle linebacker.
Yeah.
How many times has he caught a ball only to be immediately hit?
Yeah, and he caught
them
in 3rd and longs, and he kept
got it on the end zone for the tied score.
And actually, if 85 wasn't on the field, I think this would have been a very different game. But 85's kept it close, he's kept it realistic.
Well, he's forced the Vikings defence to put Burwell over the top of him.
He's the only person to have scored against the Vikings in the last 4 games.
Give on the zone.
He's the only person to have scored a touchdown against the Vikings.
Number 95's there again.
Since Rams away, game 4 in the season.
I mean, that's a long time. Winston O'Jay. And He's had a really good game, number 95, but we just haven't seen him on the pitch that much.
Well, I think he was on, but he's just got into it. He's just second half. He's been vibrant. He's been energetic. He's made stops. He's had great pursuit. And I don't know if we just switched off and were focused in on 73, but he's really kept them ticking in the second half. I think it was a close run thing. If we were only looking at the second half, he would have been in the shout. But 85 all around has done a great job.
So with time fading in this fourth quarter, a comfortable 10-point lead, 2-score lead, a 4th and 7. The Vikings are going to punt. So Sandwell have won 29-24 against Lancashire Wolverines. I mean, that's a very close score, Jonathan. Nobody would have predicted that.
And, well, it's one of these things.
Nobody back to return, so they were all in for the block. So we've got Shropshire Revolution leading the Nottingham Caesars in the third quarter, 24-7. If they keep that up, they are going to be in the playoffs.
Who's that, sorry?
Shropshire Revolution. They'll go number 2 in that division.
So it's a funny game for Sandwell. Lancashire needed the win to get that playoff spot. Sandwell didn't need the win for anything. You know, it's already been determined that they're the number 1 seed. Okay, perfect season T-shirts and all that malarkey. But Coach Greg Freeman and Coach Maxwell Pettijohn...
They won't be happy with that.
Well, no,
29-24.
They won't be interested in undefeated T-shirts anyway. It's a process for those guys. So I imagine they will have taken some time, played a few extra players. Wolverines were all about the business trying to get playoffs, but ultimately the Sandwell's class showed through.
So we're going to see a deep bomb down the sideline, drops back. Got a bit of time, throws underneath to 85, who's covered man coverage by number 3, Ducey Burwell. So as it stands, the Shropshire Revolution, who not so long ago were a Div 2 team, are looking to go through number 2 and travel up to this Vikings outfit. And East Kilbride will have to get on a bus all the way down to Sandwell. Now, East Kilbride will fancy themselves because, yes, they lost the last game 5-0, but 41 flags, did you say?
Yeah,
Not all of them were on East Kilbride, but at least 30 of them were on that offensive line, let's be honest.
And
so they've got improvements to be made.
And they've been away to the Blitz. They've been away to the Warriors. They'll have a setup.
So Birmingham's a bit of a short journey.
They're not afraid to get on the road.
Left. That's pass interference, that's got to be. Oh, he got away with that one. What do we think about that, Jonathan? He was lucky not to get pass interference because he was making
I'm giving PI, but the linesman's just decided that that's the end of the game. So play expired on that snap, and that's the end of the game. Okay.
Well, that brings a 9-1 season for the Vikings. If it had been the start of the year, and I said to you, do you fancy 9-1 and winning the division? Would you have taken it?
I'll give you one question. Coach O'Regan's just got the water bucket. Back-to-back division champions. Why wouldn't you take it?
Yeah.
Home playoff game, which we will be broadcasting live. It's in 2 weeks'
2 weeks' time, yeah. Looking forward to that. I mean, Lancashire Wolverines, they're out, but Shropshire Revolution, who run spread, they've got a big, beefy D-line.
And O-line, yeah, they're big boys.
Yeah, they're well coached. I've played against them a couple of times. They've been one of these teams that I call a slow burner that's just year on year, got a bit better each year, and they've marched their way through from being Div 2.
I think it's been a bit of an up and down because they're certainly in an ascendancy
this time. In the last 3, 4, 5 years.
But like 10 years ago, they were in Div 1 and they went down, and they were in a bit of a wave. They've never really reached the heights yet.
Yep.
But they do throw the football. But here's the big question, and there's going to be a game film exchange now. There's going to be that exciting moment where we know who it is. If they can't throw the ball on Sandwell because they didn't score many points against Sandwell, how are they going to throw the ball on the Vikings?
Well, that's the thing. You never know until conference meets conference because we can talk all we want about East Kilbride and the Vikings being the best two in this, but we don't know until they play into conference games.
No. Absolutely not.
Sandwell might crush everybody or actually might not be that good, and we don't know until we get those conference games.
I get the feeling that Sandwell are pretty good, but how does that gulf work out? Because they have had a quite straightforward time. Now,
with the exception of today.
Yeah, but the last game of the season. However you want to paint it, Sandwell have done the business.
Yeah.
Absolutely 100%. And it will be interesting to see cross-conference. I think I haven't seen the game tape yet. I don't know if I will. Hopefully we can get some in this 2 weeks and work on a bit more of all-round wraparound
Well, Sandwell
experience.
came up here last year, and it was a very, very close game between the Vikings and Steelers. And they have met before, and Sandwell have won, so you know what you're expecting. They're going to be good.
Yeah, absolutely. And I actually think that one's game of the week. East Kilbride, Sandwell Steelers is a huge, huge game. I hope one of the other streaming partners can go out there and stream that game, because I think that's one of the best games. I think Warriors versus Titans is probably going to be Warriors. I think that...
Probably. He's saying probably.
Yeah. I think that Phoenix Blitz is going to be a great game.
That's a good game. That's a good game.
I think Phoenix Blitz is going to be a great game, and I think East Kilbride Sandwell's a great game. So please, 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 those guys who stream the South, let's get in there, stream the Midlands. Let's get those two games on TV. We'll have the Vikings. I think the Vikings, to the neutral, will be favourites against Shropshire.
Well, they have to be. It's number 1 versus number 2.
They're at home. They don't have to travel.
Look at the defence. Look at the special teams. We had a kick return.
I only faced Shropshire when I was involved with Gateshead, and that was certainly a drive that we did in a day. I don't think that Shropshire will perhaps get the hotel and everything, so they're going to have the bus legs and stuff. So you know,
but they'll set off early. They'll give themselves every chance. They won't arrive here with half an hour to kick off. They're a decent programme. They'll just leave earlier and get rid of those bus legs. It's the playoffs. Don't forget, they were Div 2 not so long ago. They're now in the playoffs at Div 1.
Absolutely. I'm going to get 85.
Traveling this holiday season, you are going to want to get this, guys. Check this out. This is the homing pin. 1%. Now, this seems like a low number to me. 1% of all bags carried by airlines are misplaced. That seems really low. Anyway, yeah, exactly, right. For a family of 5 traveling twice a year means 20% chance of losing your bags.
Now, Homing Pin provides travelers with baggage loops with tags, key rings, and stickers that have a unique tracking number. Homing Pin labels can also be attached to cell phones, laptops, cameras, and passports.
That's right. You can get a 15-piece standard pack for $20 or a 5-piece starter pack for only $10 at homingpin.com. Now, we spoke about this a couple weeks ago with our tech expert, Nika Allen. So if you want to get a recap on that as well, head over to casa.com. But really, really great stuff, because it will locate, regardless of where it is, it will locate your bag. So you don't have to rely on the airline saying, well, we don't know where your bag is. You can say, you know what, I'm going to do you one better. Right here, I can tell.
I can tell. Can you imagine though, like flying into the Sunport and be like, my bag is in Miami?
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
Game MVP, Rob Hayes. Rob, you played both sides of the ball today. Middle linebacker, bit of slot back, bit of H-back. You were everywhere. You influenced the game. Tell us about the level of physicality in today's game.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've definitely seen an increase since last year in terms of the physicality. You know, you've got to have your head on a swivel every single play, play at 100% every single rep. That's really been the step up this year that we've found.
So, and we'll talk about that step up. Last year, Div 2 finally, you won a squeaker here in overtime. You've stepped up to Div 1. At no point have you looked like being dropped. You've finished 3rd place, which has got to be a really good consolidatory season for yourselves.
Yeah, so, you know, at the end of last year, we're obviously really proud of what we accomplished, but we went away in the off season and, you know, had a camp, you know, really built the team up, showed really, you know, belief in each other and the coaches. And yeah, we've kind of put in some new things on defense, offense, and yeah, I think it's helped us build on last year.
Yeah, and just touching on that, we commentated here, and it was a very rough and ready style last year, very physical. It was kind of a brawl. It felt like Chester Romans wanted to finesse you, and you just smacked them in the mouth and said no. Today, you kind of showed a lot more finesse, a lot more wide open approach, kind of play actions, RPOs, that sort of thing. How's that settling in now, halfway through the season?
Yeah, I think we found last year that it's kind of, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. we were kind of beating teams without having to show too much of our playbook. So yeah, this year with the level, really being a big step up, we've had to kind of put some new things in, and it's taken the team a bit of time to adapt. But I think the guys are doing a good job.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
sure.
next year, I spoke to your new offensive coordinator, Matthew Watt. Next year, you guys are going air raid. So can you see yourself being a slot back or an H back in air raid next year?
Well, something that the team don't know is I'm actually moving away.
Oh no!
So this is actually my last game for
You
them.
heard it live here exclusively.
Newsflash!
So I need to tell the coaches after this.
Are you moving to the Newcastle area?
I'm moving down to Glasgow actually. So.
Oh, here we go.
Okay. So, anything you want to say to your teammates then?
Well, obviously it's been a pleasure over the last 4 years. I kind of started with the team when they first started in the associate league. I went away for a bit and then came back, and I loved every minute.
Fantastic.
Well, that's a great way to close out your time with Aberdeen Roughnecks.
Cheers,
you
thank
didn't
you.
get the result today, but MVP,
Cheers.
you've been pivotal on this team, and all the best for the future.
Cheers, thank you very much.
Starting to tear up a
See
bit
you
there.
at
Don't say
EKP
bye to
next
your
year.
teammates. Thanks very much, Rob.
Asking the hard questions.
Traveling this holiday season, you're going to want to get this, guys. Check this out. This is the homing pin. 1%. Now, this seems like a low number to me. 1% of all bags carried by airlines are misplaced. That seems really low. Anyway, yeah, exactly, right. For a family of 5, traveling twice a year means 20% chance of losing your bags.
Now, Homing Pin provides travelers with baggage loops with tags, key rings, and stickers that have a unique tracking number. Homing Pin labels can also be attached to cell phones, laptops, cameras, and passports.
That's right. You can get a 15-piece standard pack for $20 or a 5-piece starter pack for only $10 at homingpin.com. Now, we spoke about this a couple weeks ago with our tech expert, Nika Allen. So if you want to get a recap on that as well, head over to casa.com. But really, really great stuff because it will locate, regardless of where it is, it will locate your bag. So you don't have to rely on the airline saying, well, we don't know where your bag is. You can say, you know what, I'm going to do you one better. Right here, I can tell.
I can tell. Can you imagine though, like flying into the Sunport and be like, my bag is in Miami?
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome.